नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवती नैष्ठिकी। ॐ ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपकदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरोः श्रीयुतपादकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणरघुनाथान्वितां तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धो जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमोस्तुते। तप्त काञ्चन गौरंगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। पंचकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लंघयते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं श्रीपरमानन्दमाधवं श्रीचैतन्यमीश्वरम्। So yesterday we saw some, I think, 10 11. Oh, Hare Krishna Prabhu. பிரபு நான் பாகவதம் கிளாஸ் இருக்கேன் பிரபு. நான் ஒரு 2 மணிக்கு மேல உங்களுக்கு கால் பண்றேன். So yesterday we saw this first 10 12 shlokas, I think we saw. This Prachina Barhi is doing all kinds of yajnas, and Narad Muni comes to give him advice. He starts off indirect advice, doing karmakanda sacrifices, and he is telling a allegorical story, which is uh, representing people like Prachina Barhi, predominantly like a general person who in soul in this world who likes to enjoy, experience all the material enjoyment. So that character he called it as Puranjana, and he is coming to this place. He has a friend called Avijnata, and no one can understand the activities of Avijnata because it is inconceivable. And then the Puranjana, once he comes, he starts searching for a suitable place to live, and he travels all over the world for that. And even after a lot of travel, he could not find a place to his liking, and because of this, he becomes morose and disappointed. Uh, this is the 11th verse, correct? Then he has unlimited desires for sense enjoyment, and so he travels all over the world to find a place where all his desires could be fulfilled. Unfortunately, he found a feeling of insufficiency everywhere. Now, we have to go forward from here, but we saw some very important points from the purports also. There is something which is very nice to contemplate on uh, regarding this Puranjana's search for a suitable place to live. He's traveling all over the world. So he's not happy at all because he's not able to find a suitable place. So what do we derive from this? What can we understand from this? Yes.
says in the purport one line that this is because in any form of life or any planet in the material world and on any planet in the material world, a living entity cannot be happy because everything in the material world is unsuitable for the spirit soul.
Yeah, beautiful. Thank you. I was just looking at that line and you caught hold of that. Very nice, Prabhu. Um, so this is the real reason. In this world, we are because we are constantly uh, this is a foreign place. Like in Gajendra's pastime also, Prabhupada says that in a very nice one purport. You would have read it, no? That Gajendra was in a foreign land. So he couldn't survive long there. And moreover, that place being foreign place, he doesn't know what will actually give him the satisfaction. So he's searching everywhere. The soul searches everywhere for satisfaction, but he's not getting it. He gets little bit, then he is thinking that this is satisfaction. After sometimes it becomes sore. Then again he's going and finding something else. This is how the look for satisfaction, search for satisfaction continues. But unfortunately, in this world, because we cannot, the spirit soul is looking for the spiritual happiness, spiritual bliss, and that cannot be given by any of the material items. Any of the material objects in this world cannot give the long lasting happiness. You understand? For the little bit of happiness that we are getting, also, it is not to the soul. It is the mind and false ego that is getting that satisfaction or happiness. That is why, because they are always flickering, after some time they lose the satisfaction. You will be hankering for some, say, the best car model, something in this world. You will struggle hard to earn money, whatever it is, and finally you will get it. But the happiness is very short-lived, isn't it? After that, they just lose the happiness. Momentarily, the happiness is lost. Either that a car meets with some high accident or something, if loses the happiness, he becomes morose. Or some other bigger model, better model has come and somebody has taken it, then that is also. Same thing is the case with phones and whatever paraphernalia that you have, isn't it? You get one phone. Those days, we had only that one that receiver which is connected to the landline. So there was no fight or anything, no confusion. Anybody has anything, you have to stand for hours together. But so there was no confusions there. Nobody will be worried, hey, you have a bigger wire, I have a smaller wire. Nothing had that worry. But nowadays, you see, those phones are hardly 500,000 rupees their time. Now you spend 1 lakh, 2 lakhs also, that happiness is very short lived. Right? So this is how the material energy creates this illusion in us that you have this, you'll be happy. You have this, you'll be happy. The mind and false ego are dictating terms. But soul will never be happy at all. So here he's talking about the soul. The soul is developing a body. But the Puranjana, as it is a soul. So that soul is not feeling happiness anywhere. He travels everywhere. He travels everywhere, but he's not getting any happiness. Right? Why? Because the consciousness is not fixed at the lotus feet of Krishna. Why is a nice, a beautiful verse is there. Second canto, 8th chapter, in verse number 5 or 6. Says, Dautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam na munchati. Mukta Sarva Pariklesha Pantha Swasharanam Yatha. You know that shloka, right? This Dautatma Purusha. Dautatma means one whose heart is cleansed. Just take out that verse 2, 8, 5 or 6. 6, no? Yeah. 4, 5, 6, these are in one sequence. Pravishna Karnarandrena, then Dautatma. Dautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam na munchati. Once his heart is cleansed by the spiritual experience of touch with Krishna's the kingdom, Krishna Padamulam na munchati. He doesn't give up Krishna's lotus feet again at all. How he feels. Mukta sarva parikleshaha pantah swasharanam yata. Panta means traveler. Panta sangama vishay. Traveler, yatri. So, mukta sarva pariklesha. While you're traveling, you get so many inconveniences. One place you will get nice place to sleep. Another place you will not get a proper place to sleep. One place you will get good prasadam. Other place you will not get good prasadam. So you will be always restless. You cannot, and moreover, even if you are stay in a most comfortable place also, you will still not be able to sleep comfortably because there are so many other obligations will be there. Meet this person, meet every day. You have to think about where will I get prasadam next. If you are at home, there is no problem. Prasadam, space, everything is automatically taken care. So this traveling people always have this challenge. Because they cannot feel that the mind will always be restless. No, what will happen if I don't get prasadam? What will happen if I don't get sleep? What will I get if I become sick somewhere? I have to depend on other people for us. So, Dautatma Purusha Krishna Padamulam Namunchati Mukta Sarva Parikleshaha. All the kleshas, Pantaha Swasharanam Yata. When he's traveling all over the world, and then finally he comes to his home, how happy he will feel. He'll be feeling so relaxed, isn't it? So finally, I came back home. Suppose you are residential, you are there serving. You are used to this place. Now, suppose they are telling you, you go for here preaching, go for there. Then you will go. But then you will always be thinking about when will I go back. Even if you go to Mayapur, Vrindavan, Puri, you will have to come back to Pune, correct? Because you feel at home here. So the feeling at home is possible only at Krishna's lotus feet. This is the main important point. So for the Atma, the spiritual association or spiritual experience is its home. Yesha Brahmi Sthiti Partha Nainam Prapya Vimuhati Sitvasya Mantakalepi Brahma Nirvanam Richati. He reaches the Brahma Nirvanam. It's a kingdom of God. So this Puranjana is also restless because he has not got the spiritual experience yet. Actually, you are going everywhere like searching for that spiritual experience only. But then you get the interferences from the material things. Take me, you'll be happy. Take me, you'll be happy. So they all are attracting us. So we take it and we feel, oh, this is not correct. We lose the happiness again. Got it? So this is how we are continuously going on searching. Everybody is searching. We just don't know. But we got the what we are searching for, we got. That is why we are happy here. You understand? Whenever we come here, even for me, for example, I am not from Pune, correct? I am from, say, Chennai, wherever. So, but then when I come here, I feel at home, even though it is not my home. Why? Because the spiritual experience is there. Everybody is it's not material love, it's a spiritual love. You are loving me because I am trying to practice Krishna consciousness. I am sharing something, whatever I know, which is also spiritual in nature only. If I come sit here and keep on talking about myself, this will Bhakti Vaibhav or what? You will not be happy. You will also not feel happy. I will also not feel happy. Maybe outwardly you may say, okay, we should not disturb him or feel him, make him feel bad. So they will tolerate. But the next day, if I come and do the same thing, you will say, Prabhu, no, please. Correct? You understand what I'm saying? So the thing is, it is the spiritual connection, relation that is uniting us. So even though you may go anywhere, because you are surrounded by spiritual environment, spiritual atmosphere, you feel relaxed there also. You don't feel that only in Pune I will be happy, only in Chennai I will be happy. No. Wherever we are, as long as we have the experience of Bhakti, experience of Krishna, Seva opportunity, we are happy. Right? This Puranjana is having that problem. He has not experienced it yet. Avijnata is there with him, but he is not taking his help. Super soul. Right? Okay. Nice. Thank you for that, Prabhu. Now let's go further. I think verse number 13 we have to read. 12, yes. साधु मे नेता सर्वाः भूतले यावति पुरः कामान् कामयमानोऽसौ तस्य तस्योपपत्तये.
King Puranjana had unlimited desires for sense enjoyment. Consequently, he traveled all over the world to find a place where all his desires could be fulfilled. Unfortunately, he found a feeling of insufficiency everywhere.
Why is feeling the insufficiency? Anything you got from the purport? Some of you must have read at home, no? Yes.
Here, Prabhupada writes, in other words, the spiritual spark covered by matter cannot fully enjoy the senses in any circumstance of material life. And later he writes, the living entity gets a body to satisfy various senses, but he cannot enjoy all his senses at one time. In the human form of life, he gets an opportunity to enjoy all his senses pervertedly, but the result is that he becomes so harassed in his attempted sense gratification that he ultimately becomes morose. As he tries to satisfy his senses more and more, he becomes more and more entangled.
This is the problem. The more and more you try to satisfy your senses, the more and more we get entangled. Right? So this is the biggest problem we have. And that is a harassment. And secondly, one other thing is there. One other subtle reason is there. Why, while trying to enjoy the senses, we are dissatisfied. What is that? Common sense. Think of common sense. Why that dissatisfaction is there? Excuse me.
Once upon a time, we have tasted that Krishna's. When we are in the spiritual world, we had experienced that bliss to that extent.
That is there. We experience spiritual bliss, that. But there is one other subtle reason that is constantly bothering us. That when we are trying to find happiness in this world, no, that dissatisfaction, even before going to Krishna spiritual experience, there is one other common reason that is there. Have you thought of it? Yes, Prabhu.
Fear of death and losing what? Fear of death and losing our present sense.
Fear of
death.
Death in losing. And that is also there. But you suppose that fear also is not there. Somebody saying, I don't have fear also.
Our senses are limited.
Our senses are limited.
Yes,
Suppose Krishna gives unlimited sense of enjoyment also.
The object gives temporary happiness.
Sorry, somebody online is saying. What are they saying? That is also one reason. That is also one reason.
Prabhupada writes in Prabhupada here, being part and parcel of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity also seeking complete enjoyment. However, complete enjoyment cannot be achieved separate from Supreme Personality of Godhead.
And what is that complete enjoyment?
So again, we have to connect ourselves to Krishna. Again, we have to serve Krishna. And
so what is that is lacking in complete enjoyment?
Suffering.
Not of complete enjoyment. Why that? What is it that is stopping you from having that full enjoyment?
Material body.
Material body, that's very abstract.
Material body.
Material body also, here also, one thing if you notice, this material body, even if you are given all the unlimited senses to enjoy, you are given unlimited to enjoy also, still there is one thing that constantly disturbs us, is because the fact that is disturbing us is that we are always dependent on others for our enjoyment. Is that true or not? You cannot enjoy anything by yourself. Material enjoyment, I'm saying. Spiritual enjoyment, you can be yourself also. Sit and alone, you can sit and chant, you can be. Right? Alone you drive, you cannot be happy. Drive the car, best car you have, alone you drive, you cannot. You want somebody to sit with you. Or even for all those enjoyments also, you are depending on others. You have to buy money, you have to buy some car means you are depending on others. You have to buy some home means you are dependent on others. And the more severe point here is, whoever you are depending on is a cheater. Isn't it? You know that if you are going to buy a 2 BHK in Kathraj Gondo area, the builder will cheat you. You know that the sabji wala who you are going to buy from, he is cheating. So we are dependent on those cheaters for our enjoyment. This is what is disturbing us and making us feel always dissatisfied. The other things are there. Material thing, spiritual thing, it cannot match. Those are other things. But even in that also, isn't it true? Do you all agree with this? Right? But when you come to our devotees association, here at least the even if you are dependent on others, that dependence is not a cheating a person. Right? Those who you are dependent on for knowledge or any help or anything, at least much lesser. We may not say it is completely zero, but at least much lesser compared to the outside world. That is why here we are feeling much more safer. Even if you are dependent on others for knowledge, others for prasadam, etc., you know that that person is not a cheater. Second thing is, they will not exploit you. Exploitation is another major problem. Because you are dependent on that person, exploitation is there. Now in this Puranjana case also, you will see this Puranjani, that his wife, takes advantage of Puranjana because Puranjana is dependent on her for enjoyment. Later it will come. She by her behavior, she completely makes him into a slave. Outside he is everything. He goes around like a Kshatriya, everything. But inside the chamber, he is like a what do you call, pet dog for him or her. So these things actually make us restless, make our mind restless. That's the biggest difference between your pursuit for material enjoyment and pursuit for spiritual enjoyment or service. Got it? These are all the lessons that we can learn one by one as we go along. Okay, let's read the next one. See, like this, Prabhupada will give some hint. It may not be in a statement exactly appearing here, but somewhere else you will find. And it will be very much appealing to us. So that is why Prabhupada wrote that statement. Over sense gratification, overeating, over sense gratification, over dependence on others' mercy, and artificial standard of living sap the very vitality of human life. That statement is a golden statement. In that, of all the three, over dependence on others' mercy is the most crucial. Overeating, over sense gratification also come and go. But this over dependence is every time you have to depend on others. And when you are more than depend on others, more than needed. And for artificial standard of living only, you will be dependent on others. If your standard of living is very simple, no, you don't depend on others too much. Right? Gaurang Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu and all, they carry only a small phone. Right? You don't have to depend on too many things. That charge, if you put 1 week, it runs. Right? And this other one, every half a day you have to charge. So you are dependent on the charger more. So over dependence on charger. Over dependence on charger's mercy. Huh? Yeah, I was expecting this answer. They are qualified to have assistants, Prabhu. They have so much service, right? And in spite of having the servants, they only type the message. Have you seen them type message? In that small phone, they type so fast. They just type. And Prabhu was attending once class. And we were continuing the class. He went on to other service. While going from the Prabhupada gallery to here, he typed one long paragraph message to me, SMS, through that small phone. Right? So that having personal servants doesn't mean they're always there. You have health issues or thing, you have to suffer yourself. right? So, okay. So let's read further. 13 one, no? स एकदा हिमवतो दक्षिणेष्वतसानुषु तदर्श नवभिर्द्वार्भिः पुरं लक्षित लक्षणाम्.
Once, while wandering in this way, he saw on the southern side of the Himalayas, in a place named Bharatvarsh, India, a city that had 9 gates all about and was characterized by all auspicious family facilities.
So he is now coming to, now finally after running everywhere. So what he is saying is that this Puranjana, he he went everywhere, but even material happiness he could not get properly. Only after coming to Bharatarsha, he could feel happy. Because here, even for Kama also, no, when you do Dharma, Artha, Kama, Moksha, somewhat it is genuine sense gratification. Without doing Dharma, without doing getting the Artha out of the Dharma, you are enjoying Kama. That is our Western types of, or the advanced, modern advanced happiness. That will not even last as long as this happiness lasts. Very simple, no? See, when you have a family, that is a Vedic culture, normal family marriage. So what you do? You have parents, you have family. So at least that family life, most people are okay. Even if they are not with Krishna, at least the family life in India is much better than the family life in outside world. Right? Whereas when you go outside world, the children will be having fourth mother and fifth father. Mother has fourth marriage, father has fifth marriage. And this child is from which marriage, they don't know. At least for most part, in India also it is spreading, but I can't do, what can I do? But for most part, the child knows who is my father, who is my mother. That's why Maharaj always used to say that at least give your children real father and mother, you would say. Because for the wife or the husband, that current husband is the husband and current wife is the wife. Which number we don't know, but that is the wife husband. But the child, that father which is his father or her father is the father. You may have fourth husband, but that fourth husband is not my father, the child will say. You understand? So that is why here Puranjana is coming to Bharatarsha. See, this is very important point to note. He didn't go to America or Australia. There and all, he's turned around and nothing he could get. He got only dissatisfaction. For material satisfaction also, here only you can get something. Right? What is the point in having a married life and that relationship doesn't last long? Right? Here at least, how much ever you kick the son will still think that father is father. There, they will not even consider you as father or mother. So where is the relationship? There is no culture, there is no relationship. Right? So this Bharatarsha is very important to note that he's coming here. So at least some happiness you will get. Till now he has not occurred. From here on you will get little bit at least, though it is temporary. So anybody found any nice points here? We are only going through that which you are supposed to be finishing it off. See, Prabhupada is saying that same thing here. At present, compared to other countries on earth, India is artificially disturbed. Despite these material disturbances, however, the country's culture is such that one can easily attain the goal of life, namely salvation or liberation from material points. After Kamam, moksha is there. At least you will have somewhere some attachment to spiritual side is there. Okay. Let's read the next one. Any questions, comments till now? Any questions from online? Okay, let's go further. Prakaro pavanattala parikhair akshatoranaihi swarna raupyaya saishringaihi sankulam sarvato grihaihi.
That city was surrounded by walls and parks, and within it were towers, canals, windows, and outlets. The houses there were decorated with domes made of gold, silver, and iron.
So this is again decorated domes made of gold, silver, and iron. They represent the three modes. Here also when they come, by default, when the Atma comes into this world with a body, it has to encounter the three modes. Three modes don't touch the soul. It only touches the body and mind and false ego. And it is made of the Tridhatu, Kapha Pitta Vayu, right? So Yasyatma Buddhe, Kunape Tridhatuke, the three dhatus made of that only in different combination. Okay, so he is getting this body in this Bharatarsha, city of 9 gates. What is that city of 9 gates? His body only 9 holes. नीलस्फटिक वैदूर्य मुक्तामरक तारुणैः क्लिप्त हर्म्यस्थलीं दीप्तां श्रिया भोगवतीमिव.
The floors of the houses in that city were made of sapphire, crystal, diamonds, pearls, emeralds, and rubies. Because of the luster of the houses in the capital, the city was compared to the celestial town named Bhogavati.
So the cities, the capital basically. Our heart is considered as the capital of the city. The city of 9 gates, heart is the capital, and capital is place where all the planning, everything is going on. In India also, the parliament is there in the capital. They make all the planning for the country, right? In any state also there is a capital, and that's where you have the Vidhan Saudha or whatever. So they do the planning there. So unlimited, these jewels, that is all there in the floor, they are considered to be the various desires and plans that is made in the heart, city of heart. Next. You can recite.
Sabha
Sabha
In that city, there were many assembly houses, street crossings, streets, restaurants, gambling houses, markets, resting places, flags, festoons, and beautiful parks. All these surrounded the city.
Yeah. So, what about these other things like assembly houses, street crossings, and all this? What do they represent? Places of attraction for sense enjoyment. And the palms and soles of the feet, they are compared to the various flags, festoons, and all. So like this, all these parks, everything, they are all the different parts of the body. How the parks attract, like that, the different parts of the body. See, we should actually admire the way Narad Muni is comparing this entire body to a city, and in an indirect way is revealing the whole idea. No? Now, if you see, just take a city, and in a city, how all the different things are there for attraction. Park is there, some multiplex is there, some gambling, some different things are there. So the same way in our body also, you look at someone's body, hey, his eyes are very beautiful, cheeks are very beautiful, like that we say, no? So in a city also, when you go, you will see, hey, this park is very beautiful. This fountain is very beautiful. So we have to actually admire how much Narad Muni has totally given a very beautiful simile to this, to the body. It's very nice, really. Puryastu bahyopavane divyadrumalataakule nadad vihangalikula kolahala jalashaye.
On the outskirts of that city were many beautiful trees and creepers encircling a nice lake. Also, surrounding that lake were many groups of birds and bees that were always chanting and humming.
Yeah. So then we'll go to the next one. Hima nirjara viprushmat kusumakara vayuna chalat pravala vitapa nalini tata sampadi.
The branches of the trees standing on the bank of the lake received particles of water carried by the spring air from the falls coming down from an icy mountain.
It is a very nice thing. Here, what all things are covered here? The different items. There is a waterfall, right? And there is air carrying that the droplets from the waterfall. And there's an icy mountain. Right? See, Prabhupada, how nicely is given this thing. It represents the various Shabda, Sparsha, Rupa, Rasa, Gandha. Wind is Sparsha, because with the wind only you can touch. And then waterfall is Rasa, taste. And then spring air is smell. So like this, all the different senses are covered in this simile of, right? If you go to a mountainous place, you'll see waterfalls. And if you go near the waterfalls, the breeze will carry some droplets. You feel very pleased, you know. So that is the thing where is this the simile is expanded so beautifully. Actually, we should enjoy this simile very much. If you sit and meditate on it, you will admire Narad Muni's. Similarly, he will do one more thing with the other group. Who, you know? Sons of Daksha. What's her name? Haryashvas. With them also, he tells one river that is flowing in both directions. It's a very paradoxical simile he gives, no? So we have such a great Acharya with us who can, you know, explain the whole thing in a nice way. Okay. Let's go to the next one. You please chant. I might have throat problems, so I may not be able to chant.
Abto yatra kokila kujitai.
Pujitai, he, that visarga has to be pronounced.
In such an atmosphere, even the animals of the forest became non-violent and non-envious like great sages. Consequently, the animals did not attack anyone. Over and above everything was the cooing of the cuckoos. Any passenger passing along that path was invited by that atmosphere to take rest in that nice garden.
Here again is now comparing the family life. Non-violent animals. Like a pet dog, pet cat. You know, you feel like hugging it and all that, but it's an animal at the end of the day. I mean, you should not literally say it that way, but I mean to say, in this material world, that is what is the relationship. Beyond that, because how much ever they may be related to us, still you cannot expect them to understand you 100%. Got it? So dog, cat and all, they can be very loving to you, pet to you, all that. But they cannot understand the pain that you go through. Not all the pains. Isn't it? It has only certain limit of... Similarly, this cuckoo thing, or the cooing of the cuckoos. So, like the cuckoo, when it is cooing, it is very pleasing to hear when you are in the forest. Same way, this is actually the children are, suppose they are playing around and crying, you will enjoy. Hey, my children, they are playing like that. They will make noise. You will say, oh, they are nice. They are nicely playing. So that's how it feels for him. Next. Now comes the real problem.
While wandering here and there in that wonderful garden, King Puranjan suddenly came in contact with a very beautiful woman who was walking there without any engagement. She had 10 servants with her, and each servant had hundreds of wives accompanying him.
Anybody without engagement is a real problem. If they are engaged, they will not disturb you. If they are not engaged, they will come and disturb you. Correct? Somehow or other, you should keep them occupied. Really. That is the truth. Children also, you put them in the school until 3 years, 4 years, it will be a big torture. The parents will love them, but still they will feel, oh my God, I can't have 1 hour rest. It's continuously they are fighting, screaming, all that. After 4 years, when they are sent to school, now mother will feel so happy. At least 4 hours I can take some rest. Right? So, and same way, wife also continuously engaged with some seva, they will not bother you. If you don't give them engagement, you are finished. They will eat your head. Wait for you to come from office for seva. And then as soon as you come home, finished. What, Prabhu? He is not married. Huh? Sorry? Dahi. Gilli. Yeah, the cricket. Continuously making noise. That's what you say? Genie. Yeah. Yeah. You continuously, it will come and ask for seva. Right? You give him seva, it will be. But if you don't give, here they are not asking for seva. They will give you seva. Come on, take this seva, take that seva. Like that. Yeah, always, that is why when spiritually engaged couple, they don't have problems so much. Even though their life is whatever challenges it may be, but they are adjusting concept is at least still there. Mature devotee couple I'm talking about. There are so many who, after devotees also there is challenges, but then that is immaturity. So maturity means you understand and accept that yes, they are engaging in some seva. Let me also engage in the same seva. Right? You also eat rasgulla, I will also eat rasgulla. Whatever enjoyment you get, I will also get. So you also engage in Krishna's service, I also engage in Krishna's service. You will have the same experience. Right? That is the... you eat rasgulla, I don't like rasgulla, I want Mysore pak. But I like Mysore pak, so I want you also to take Mysore pak. This is what happens. I want material enjoyment. You attracted to Krishna is not a... I don't care for it. You have to come with me to watch movie. This is the lack of engagement. Real engagement means in Krishna consciousness. Anybody, even for us also. For us also, this mind left unengaged is the biggest demon. So you keep engaging the mind, no problem. Unengaged mind is the main cause of the problems. Let's go further. See, one word, how nicely Prabhupada is saying, without engagement. This is so nice instruction it is giving. Next, please read.
Pancha sirsa hina guptam pratiharena sarvata anvesa manam risabham apravdam kama rupinim. The woman was protected on all sides by a 5 hooded snakes. She was very beautiful and young. She appeared very anxious to find a suitable husband.
Again, see this beautiful thing. Read the first paragraph of the purport.
The vital force of a living entity includes the 5 kinds of air working within the body.
So these 5 hooded snake is actually this 5 prana, apana, vyana, samana, udana. These 5.
The vital force is compared to a serpent because a serpent can live by simply drinking air.
See, this is a beautiful connection Prabhupada is giving. Just like the life air, a snake can live with air only. That is why it can live without food for a long time. Python can live for months together also without food. Because just by love and fresh air. They say, no, how do you live with love and fresh air? Like that, it takes air and it enjoys. How transcendental its body must be. Simply living by air only. Huh? So that is the beauty here. So this why actually this woman who is coming to meet Puranjana, she represents intelligence. Avijnata represents super soul. Woman represents intelligence. So after intelligence, you have the mind, and then the very next level is the five airs. Pancha Vayu. Okay. So material enjoyment means utilizing the intelligence for the sake of Rupa, Rasa, Gandha, Shabda, and Sparsha. In this enjoyment, these 5 ways only you can taste the material enjoyment. In the form of Rupa, look something, and you get the feast for the eyes. Rasa, taste for the tongue. Gandha, nice fragrance. Shabda, for the ears. Sparsha, touch. With all these 5 things, we enjoy. These are the 5 things through which we gather knowledge also. Okay, next.
The woman's nose, teeth, and forehead were all very beautiful. Her ears were equally very beautiful and were bedecked with dazzling earrings.
See, the word Sukapolam, nice forehead, indicates a clear brain capable of understanding things as they are. By intelligence, one can set things in order. Right? Actually, this is whatever is coming is material world in its purest form is good for our spiritual progress. But when we are using it for material enjoyment, that is when the real problem starts. Any questions so far? Comments? Okay. Next, let's read.
Sanganivyam Sushronim Shyamam Kanakameekaram Madhyam Pandalam The waist and hips of the woman were very beautiful. She was dressed in a yellow sari with a golden belt. While she walked, her ankle bells rang. She appeared exactly like a denizen of heavens.
Next.
Stano Vyanchita Samavito Nirantaro With the end of her sari, the woman was trying to cover her breasts, which were equally round and well placed side by side. She again and again tried to cover them out of shyness, while she walked exactly like a great elephant.
Next. Tamahalalitam viraha savrida shobhanam snigdena pungkena sprushta premod brahmadruva.
Puranjana, the hero, became attracted by the eyebrows and smiling face of the very beautiful girl and was immediately pierced by the arrows of her lusty desires. When she smiled shyly, she looked very beautiful to Puranjana, who, although a hero, could not refrain from addressing her.
This is very nice actually. You read the first few lines of this purport.
Every living entity is a hero in 2 ways. When he is a victim of the illusory energy, he works as a great hero in the material world, as a great leader, politician, businessman, industrialist, etc. And his heroic activities contribute to the material advancement of civilization. One can also become a hero by being the master of the senses, a Goswami. Material activities are false heroic activities, whereas restraining the senses from material engagement is great heroism.
This is a beautiful statement Prabhupada is telling here. Normally, one who is materially very powerful is considered as a hero, but he's a Godas. Everything he does is under the influence of slavery to his senses. So this is very, very nice point that Prabhupada. Anything you found nice points here? You went up to here in your reading? Before. Okay. Read for next reel. These are all purports which you can enjoy as you go along. We just going the story, little salient points we will collect and we'll go. And if we sit on one, then you will not be able to complete. That is the reason I am moving on. Each one has so much wonderful, deep realization from Prabhupada, you know. Katham kanja pala sakshi kasyasiha kutasati imam upapurim bihiru kim chikir shashi shasi shamsame.
My dear lotus-eyed, kindly explain to me where you are coming from, who you are, and whose daughter you are. You appear very chaste. What is the purpose of your coming here? What are you trying to do? Please explain all these things to me.
See, it's a very nice thing. He's asking all these questions to her, no, to this lady. So Prabhupada totally transforms that question. You saw that, no, Prabhu? What is he saying? Sorry? He translates that whole thing into Atato Brahma Jignasa. Towards the last few lines, can somebody read the purport? In the human form of life.
In the human, where it is? In the human form of life, however, consciousness is more greatly developed, and consequently, the human being has a chance to understand his relationship with God. In the human form, one should utilize his intelligence by asking all these questions, just as Puranjan, the living entity, is asking the unknown girl where she has come from, what her business is, why she is present, etc. These are inquiries about Atma Tattva, self-realization. The conclusion is that unless a living entity is inquisitive about self-realization, he is nothing but an animal.
So now, even though that woman is considered as a separate entity, at the end of it, she represents intelligence. Right? So here, intelligence, heart, the city of nine gates, everything is one person only. You got it? So he is asking these questions to that woman that is actually a natural outcome of his inherent quality of inquisitiveness. So that is why Prabhupada is explaining this, that just like this Puranjana is asking that lady about all the details, you should also ask where I have come from, where I am going to go, what is this place for, like this. If you don't ask these questions, then our life is a waste of time. Okay. Let's go to the next one. Yetenupatayeta gadasha mahabataha yeta valalana subru koyam tehi purasaraha.
My dear lotus-eyed, who are those 11 strong bodyguards with you? And who are those 10 specific servants? Who are those women following the 10 servants? And who is the snake that is preceding you?
So what are the 10 strong servants that represent? So the intelligence is, the woman is having some servants. So intelligence is having some servants. What are those servants? Jnanendriyas, Karmendriyas. And then the women following the 10 servants. It represents all the different material desires, because these indriyas through which all the desires are exhibited. No? It is the indriyas through which the one tries to fulfill those desires. But so the indriyas are always attached with the indriyani indriye artebhyas. Tasya karyam na vidyate. Krishna says, no. Indriya, indriyartha. You got it? The indriyas are there, and then indriya artha, that which will satisfy those desires. The desires, basically. And then, so one more point here. What was that? Snake. What does that snake represent? Vital air. The vital air. Next. Tvam khrir bhavanyasya thava gramapatim Vichinvati kim muni vagraho vane. Twadangrikamapta samasta kamo. Padma koshaha patitah karagrat.
My dear beautiful girl, you are exactly like the goddess of fortune, or the wife of Lord Shiva, or the goddess of learning, the wife of Lord Brahma. Although you must be one of them, I see that you are loitering in this forest. Indeed, you are as silent as the great sages. Is it that you are searching after your own husband? Whoever your husband may be, simply by understanding that you are so faithful to him, he will come to possess all opulences. I think you must be the goddess of fortune, but I do not see the lotus flower in your hand. Therefore, I am asking you where you have thrown the lotus.
See, this is a beautiful thing. This is how when a man and a woman meets, they will talk like this. They go mad. All in order to attract each other, no, they will do anything they want. Comparing her to goddess of fortune, and there also, when the lotus is not in the hand, you should say that you are not goddess of fortune. Where did you throw? Means you had it. So much is attached to. And other thing is, this is very interesting. Is it that you are searching after your husband? He is expecting her to say no. If he is saying yes, if she says yes, I am searching after the husband, then he cannot follow her. Right? So this is all hidden. I mean to say, cheating propensity. Next, there's lot to understand from this, but helplessly we have to move on. Nasamvaroranyatama bhuvispruk puri mimam veeravarena sakam arhasyalankartum adabra karmana lokam param shri riva yajna pumsa.
O greatly fortunate one, it appears that you are none of the women I have mentioned, because I see that your feet are touching the ground. But if you are some woman of this planet, you can, like the goddess of fortune, who, accompanied by Lord Vishnu, increases the beauty of Vaikuntha planets. Also, increase the beauty of this city by associating with me. You should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet.
So this is a very interesting point here. I was thinking about it. So he is accepting that, okay, you are not goddess of fortune. But anyway, I want to marry you. That is the point there. So he's to that extent he's saying, goddess of fortune's feet does not touch the ground. So you are not goddess of fortune. You are touching the ground. And he's saying that just like goddess of fortune is increasing the beauty of the Vaikuntha planets by associating with Vishnu, you also increase the beauty of the city by associating with me. In other words, beauty of the city means by body, by associating with me. And you should understand that I am a great hero and a very powerful king on this planet. This is the biggest flaw in our relationships in this world also. If you see material relationships I'm talking about, in all, this represents material relationships anyway in this world. In all our material relationships, we always try to pose as great only, no? Pose as something more than what we are actually, right? Anybody writes a resume to the office, do they put exactly what they did only? Right? They say, no, extra, so many other things. I did this, I did that. I can fold the sky. I can put all the water in one can. All those kind of things. Right? A lot of lies we have to tell. And anywhere in the world you see, they will put it only. A big board will be there. Very near to Baner Balawadi Stadium. 2 BHK. 70 lakhs only. And you go there, and they will charge you so much more, you will end up paying 1.5 crores. Star will be there. That star makes all the. It contains everything in there. Itarataha. All etceteras are there in it. hidden everything. Isn't it? So here, this is a very beautiful psychology that is revealed in this verse. That both the husband and wife, they want to marry each other. In the marriage biodata also, forget about CV. What are they right now? In our marriage biodata, the matrimonial sites and all, they put everything and they say they put the blame on Sukracharya. Sukracharya says in Bhagavatam, in a marriage you can lie. You know that, na? 5 places where you can lie, Sukracharya gives us transcendental instruction. You know that? While teaching Bali Maharaj, he gives that instruction. So marriage is a place where you can lie. And once life is in danger, you lie. To bring a woman under control, you lie. Actually, Maharaj was reading that shloka when we were talking to us. Few of us are there. This shloka should be read only when Matajis are not there. They will get upset otherwise, because that was beginning itself says, in joking, in bringing a woman under control, to bring a woman under control, then anyway, but Bhagavatam we are talking, we are not talking anything else. He is our Acharya. Those who want to go follow that rule, Sukra is our Acharya. So, one's life is in danger, and in marriage, marriage ceremony, and in saving somebody, these are all the places you can lie. So here, to bring her under control, is lying left, right, and center. So they always want to show off more than. This is hypocrisy. This is where, in our material dealings, we always try to show ourselves more than what we are. Because we feel that there is a fear of being rejected. If I'm an ordinary person, they will reject me. Right? The girl also thinks I will show off the best resume to the thing. And once you go inside, then that is why after marriage, everybody gets into problem. If they speak truth before marriage, then there's no problem. At least little less. Sorry? Cheaters can get cheated, yes. Yeah. So you cheat, you have to be cheated. Correct? So this is a very important point to note. Wherever we go, this is also called, in technical terms, in Sanskrit terms, Atma Shlaga. In spiritual life also we do that. Many times we go to someone and say, I have distributed so many books. 20 years I am reading Bhagavatam. 30 years I am doing this. How many years you are doing Bhakti? Oh, no. Don't ask that. This all means I am doing Bhakti. If I am not empowered, how can I distribute books for so many years? How can I give so many classes? You have to understand from that. Right? This is how we cheat. This is called Atma Shlaga, self-glorification. Not even self-glorification. It is self-admiration. Shlaga means admire. Shlaga means your hairs are standing on the end, thinking about yourself. Oh, I did so much. I am such a great personality. They'll say, many times they'll say, that people do that. They'll say, I went to this temple and suddenly I got this darshan of Lord Ramchandra, and nobody was getting that darshan. I was the only one taking that darshan. The Lord was waiting for me to come. You see, my hairs are standing on end. Yeah. My God, Maha Garland. Krishna kept this Mahaprasadam specifically for me. These are all Atma Shlaga. We do that, Atma Shlaga, self-admiration, self-glorification. Right? Because nobody is glorifying me. I have to tell the people how great I am. We cannot move an inch in devotional service with this kind of an attitude. And that's what our Purajana is showing. He's saying, I am a hero. Man, in the forest you can go and tell anybody I am a hero. When you are finished in the battle, somebody comes and kills you, how will you say I am a hero? And woman also likes when the men lie. They also likes. Women also lie. So the whole, that is why this is Kuta Dharma. Griheshu, Kuta Dharmeshu. Every time Griheshu Dharma they come, next word will be Kuta Dharma. See how many verses are there in Bhagavatam. Many verses are there, Griheshu, Kuta Dharmeshu. It will come. Yesterday also we read one sloka. Griheshu, Kuta Dharmeshu. Right? So, it comes everywhere. Many places it comes. Kuta Dharma means duplicitous Dharma, the duplicitous place, where only duplicity rules. So our guy is putting his resume forward. Puranjana, I am a hero. If you become my heroine, I will become even superhero. And you are also become superheroine. Right? Next. Yeah, any questions, doubts, comments? Yes.
In 28th verse, last paragraph of purport, second last paragraph, last sentence Prabhupada is writing, the material world is also the goddess of fortune because the material energy works under the direction of Lord Vishnu. So this material world is like goddess Durga is the mentioned maybe.
Where, Prabhu? 28th verse, huh?
28th words, last, second last paragraph, last sentence. The material world is also the goddess of fortune. So material world is how goddess of fortune. Goddess of fortune is Lakshmi Devi, and material world we generally refer to goddess Durga.
It's an expansion of goddess of fortune, right? Durga is also expansion of goddess of fortune. So
In
that way,
material world is
yeah,
Durga.
yeah, she's Durga. See, Durga also you go and ask Vishnu Bhakti, she will give, no? Who is sitting next to Jagannath in the Puri?
Subhadra.
No, Bimla Devi. Outside, va? Outside, but and first Jagannath's Mahaprasadam goes there only. Then only it goes to Shivji. You know that, right? So she is very dear to Krishna. She is only born before, I mean, just after Krishna, no? She is expanding herself and Kamsa tries to kill her. She is sister.
In material world, she is sister, and in spiritual is like propagating
Consort.
consort.
And goddess of fortune only is expanding here. Durga. But for devotees, Durga is also goddess of fortune only. Because she is giving bhakti, na? Right? When Jadabharat Maharaj was being about to be butchered by that robber's thief, right? Who saved her? Who killed and who saved her? Saved by Jadabharat Maharaj. Padrakali. She is Durga Devi. Her own devotee she killed. To save whom? To a Vaishnava. So for Jadabharat Maharaj, Bhadrakali is goddess of fortune. So if you see, if you are a devotee, you see goddess of fortune everywhere. That's the point here. Nice question, Prabhu. You got something very interesting. This is how we should discuss. Okay. We did 30, 30 we haven't done, no? Yadeshamapanga vikanditendriyam savrida bhavasmita vibramadbhuva tvayopasrishto bhagavan mano bhavaha prabadhate thanugrahana shobhane.
Certainly, you are glancing upon me today has very much agitated my mind. Your smile, which is full of shyness, but at the same time lusty, is agitating the most powerful cupid within me. Therefore, O most beautiful, I ask you to be merciful upon me.
So when you are really attracted to material sense gratification, you will not have any shyness. You will not be ashamed, right? We are saying I ask you to be merciful upon me. Man, mercy means you ask only Krishna or Guru for causeless mercy. He is asking you be merciful to me. It's begging, in fact, in other words. There is no spiritual thing there. Right? For a sense enjoyment only, you be merciful to me. It's a Prabhupada used to give this example of he has and she has, he donkey and she donkey. The he donkey goes behind the she donkey and she donkey kicks, and he doesn't feel any shame there. That's what this world is. This is what happens when you are overly attracted to sense gratification. See, on the other hand, you take the example of saintly personalities like Kardama Muni, right? How they also had children, they also had their family life, but you see how Devahuti and Kardama Muni interact. Devahuti is very shy, but she is also very calm and composed. Kardama Muni also very calm and composed. When they both wanted to have children, they just they completed their tapasya, and they were not running behind each other. Right? This is the biggest difference between material sense gratification and say, Yukta Vairagya and spiritual life. What you are doing, the same thing. What is that Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita about the sex life? Kama, dharma viruddha bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshaba. Right? So Krishna says, I am that thing. So there is nothing wrong. You just have to be a little bit sensible and sensitive. Okay. Next one. Tvadananam subhrusutara yalam binilaalaka vrinda samvritam unniyame darshaya valguvachakam yadrida yana abhimukham shuchismite.
My dear girl, your face is so beautiful with your nice eyebrows and eyes and with your bluish hair scattered about. In addition, very sweet sounds are coming from your mouth. Nonetheless, you are so covered with shyness that you do not see me face to face. I therefore request you, my dear girl, to smile and kindly raise your head to see me.
See, this is a very beautiful thing. This entire Puranjana story is a best example of the relationship before marriage and after marriage. Now he is telling all these things. No, afterwards, you see, one chapter later, he goes for hunting and comes back. She is very angry at him. She is not talking at all, and he is going and begging. She doesn't talk at all, and this is after marriage. Here he is telling you are shy. She also talk nicely. All those things will be there. That's why Maharaj used to say a very funny thing. Maharashtra Maharaj used to make one funny comment. He'll say, married life he will explain in 3 phases. First is immediately after the marriage, you ask the boy, how is married life, man? Maharaj is going very nice, very sweet, very respectful girl. She's very helping and all that. So Maharaj said, this is Chandramukhi face. Chandramukhi face, very cool moon, cooling moon. It is Chandramukhi. And after a few years, 2, 3 years, 4 years later, then you ask, how is it now? Then you say, Maharaj, very difficult to handle. So that is become Suryamukhi. Really scorching, And after 2, 3 years, Jwalamukhi. He is spitting fire. Very difficult to go near also. Like Tukaram's wife. So it's Chandramukhi, Suryamukhi, Jwalamukhi face. It doesn't come back. No more return to Chandramukhi face. That is how it is. The whole thing. But you see these things only when you become a slave of those beauty and all those things. If you don't become slave, you see them as representative or representative of Krishna, or I mean to say another servant of Krishna, then you will not take undue advantage. See, in this material world, only if you want to exploit or get more than what you deserve, you need to tell lie. If you have to get whatever you want to take, you don't have to tell lies, or you don't want to go illegal route. Right? If you want to get the signature from the government officer quickly, you need to give bribe. You need to tell lies. Isn't it? More than what you deserve, you want to get only, you need to tell. Predominantly. Predominantly, Kali Yuga is bad, but predominantly at least you can save yourself if your desires are genuine. Here there is worried that she will reject. So he's telling all this extra, he's selling himself. What do you call that as? You do the marketing, no? He himself self-marketing is doing about himself. The girl also will do that. If you have full faith that Krishna will anyway protect, Krishna will find the right girl for you, then you don't have to unnecessarily sell. And when you are telling all these lies, it will come back to bite us. It's the important thing we have to note here. Yeah, let's go further. Next one, no? Narada watch, right? Narada watch itam puranjanam nari yachamanam adhiravat abhyanandata tam viram hasanti vira mohita.
Narada continued, My dear king, when Purangana became so attracted and impatient to touch the girl and enjoy her, the girl also became attracted by his words and accepted his request by smiling. By this time, she was certainly attracted by the king.
That's what we told, na? That it happens when you lie, when you tell many things, girls are also naturally attracted. Next, Navidama vayam samyak kartaram purusharshaba atmanascha parasyapi gotram nama cha yatkritam.
The girl said, O best of human beings, I do not know who has begotten me. I cannot speak to you perfectly about this, nor do I know the names or the origin of the associates with me.
See, in this very nice it is. This you see how Prabhupada is translating this message in a beautiful way. I do not know who has begotten me. I cannot speak to you perfectly about this. She openly tells, I don't know who is my father. Nor do I know the name and associated with those who are around me. They also I don't know. You see very beautifully, Prabhupada writes. Generally, people are of the opinion that we are here accidentally and that as soon as these bodies are finished, all our dramatic activities will be finished and becomes here. See, in this verse, the girl expresses, see, this is a very nice point. Can somebody read it halfway through? In this verse, the girl is expressing.
In this verse, the girl is expressing the actual position of the living entity. She cannot tell Puranjana her father's name because she does not know from where she has come. Nor does she know why she is present in that place. She frankly says that she does not know anything about all this.
See, this is very interesting. What does the woman represent? Intelligence. Through the intelligence, you will try to find out anything and everything. But the intelligence itself, does it know where it has come from? Only the Atma knows, right? So there's a point here. So anytime you talk about the woman, don't just literally go with the woman. Go with what it represents. It represents our intelligence. Next. Please read. Who's reading?
This is the position of the living entity in the material world. There are so many scientists, philosophers, and big leaders, but they do not know where from they have come, nor they know why they are busy within this material world to obtain a position of so-called happiness. In this material world, we have many nice facilities for living, but we are so foolish that we do not ask who has made this world habitable for us and arrange it so nicely. Everything is functioning in order, but people foolishly think that they are produced by chance in this world, material world, and that after death they will become zero. They think that this beautiful place of habitation will automatically remain.
See, this is such an important point here because with the intelligence, people are finding out so many things, but they don't do atato brahma jigyasa. They don't really see where I have come from, where I am going. Those things they don't ask. So this lady also, this is representing intelligence. She is also not asked where I have come from. So she is openly telling, I don't know where I have come from. I don't know who is my father. I don't know all these things. So the material intelligence is like that. Spiritual intelligence is what if what it represents. Spiritual intelligence represents you ask the question, where have you come from? I have come from Golokundavan. Right? We have come from eternally from there. But many lifetimes you are in this material world. But originally we belong there. This is what you get by doing proper jignasa and hearing from Guru Sadhu Shastra. But she has not done that. This is what she is representing, the material intelligence. And Puranjana is also attracted to material intelligence only. He is not seeking for any spiritual thing yet. But he doesn't understand that whatever he is searching for, it is not giving him happiness because he is searching for the material things. Right? It's a beautiful point. That's why he said, where is that line? Nor do they know why they are busy within this material world to obtain a position of so-called happiness. They do not know why they are busy within this material world to obtain happiness. This is a beautiful point Prabhupada is saying. Why they are running around? They don't know. I just want to be happy. I just want to be busy. They will carry loads. They will carry so much meetings, this, that, 10 different phones, so many laptops, this, that. They will carry. Why do you want to? I have to maintain my office. Okay, what are you doing by maintaining the office? No, I have so many people dependent on. What will you get? I will get money. Why do you want money for? I want happiness. Dog is also happy. It doesn't run around. What is the difference between you and the dog? Prabhupada asked, no, like that. Then they have not asked this question themselves. Someone like Prabhupada has to come and ask. You know that P.L. Sethi also. Prabhupada asked that. That's the first question. He asked him, what are you doing? I take bath, I drink coffee, then I go out for work and I come back, I maintain my family. Then Prabhupada said, what is the difference between you and a pig? Then that made him think over. Hey, yes, what he's saying is right. Then he said, my devotees will come and do kirtans in your place. Just hear the kirtans and that's enough. And he became the best supporter of our movement in Juhu especially. Right? The difference between intelligence and mind is that, see here, she frankly says that she does not know anything about all this. The difference between intelligence and mind is that intelligence will at least accept that I don't know. But mind will say that, no, I know. Mind will act like Atma. So it will say, no, I know where I am coming from. So it will give some concocted ideas. That is why mind is even more dangerous. Material mind, I'm talking about. Right? Mind will never say, I don't know. Intelligence will say, no. Let's see. Ihadya santam atmanam vidamana tataparam yeneyam nirmita vira sharanam atmanaha.
O great hero, we only know that we are existing in this place. We do not know what will come after. Indeed, we are so foolish that we do not care to understand who has created this beautiful place for our residence.
So this is a very interesting statement. We are so foolish we don't care to understand who had created this, all this place, this everything. So that is why Prabhupada quotes this verse, beautiful verse in the purport. Parabhavastavad abodhachato yavanna jignasata. Until and unless you inquire about this, about the absolute truth, whatever you may do in this world is just simply a defeat waste. You're defeated only. Amazing, no? Okay. That's why Prabhupada keeps on insisting that please at least think and question why this world is doing this. Why do we need all this? Very important verses. Ete sakaya sakyo me naranaryascha manada supta yamai jagarti nagoyam palayan purim.
My dear gentlemen, all these men and women with me are known as my friends, and the snake who always remains awake protects the city even during my sleeping hours. So much I know. So I do not know anything beyond this.
So very nice point. Huh? So again, she is telling that I do not know anything, but they are protecting me. That's all I want. There's something very interesting here. What do you think is interesting here? Anyone from the online also plan? Please try and answer. Read the translation again and tell me what is very interesting here. Yes, bro.
Mind and other things are working.
Sorry?
Although intelligence may sleep, but mind and other things work.
No, I
Protect this city even during my sleeping hours.
yes. What does that mean? No, there is something very underlying fallacy in our dealings also in this world that is represented in this translation. That's why I said something very interesting.
She is saying that she only knows about the bodily needs,
Sorry, Prabhu?
not beyond that.
Bodily thing? Can you come again? I couldn't hear you very clearly, Prabhu.
She is saying that she only knows about the bodily needs and enjoyment, only that much, not beyond that.
You're almost there, Prabhu. You're almost there. See, you see one thing here. They are known as my friends, all these men, women. All snake who's always remaining awake, protects the city even during my sleeping hours. So the psychology I'm just talking about, the psychology of this world, even ourselves also, is that if something is taking care of us, we don't care to know much about it, isn't it? How long they can survive or what is their capacity? None of those things we care to know. Isn't it the psychological thing that it represents here? She doesn't know anything about them, but they are protecting her. That's all she knows. And I don't know anything beyond this. I don't care to know. Right? So anything, for example, suppose you are buying a car or buying a bike, they will say we will protect it from these things. How many of us look into this and do a little bit more research how they are going to protect or how they are going to help with their insurance or whatever, or within our own body, digesting food is digesting, we are able to see, we are able to hear. Have you ever wondered how it is seeing, how it is hearing, how it is thinking? As long as it is fulfilling my enjoyment and happy, I'm all right, isn't it? Don't you think so? It's a very important point that it represents this woman's attitude. We all do that, and that is the problem, because when you don't care how it works and you are happy that it is helping you, when it stops working, you are in trouble because you don't know how to fix it. You got it? You understand what I'm saying? Suppose in your body also, you haven't studied medicine. Suddenly something stops working, you're running to the doctor. But when the doctor knows that, oh, I have this problem, so there's some issue here. I have this problem in the legs, there's some issue. They know. So they will not worry too much about it. They may not have all the equipments to fix it. But if it is a leg problem, they will go to some orthopedician, or some eye problem, they will go to ophthalmologist, whatever. Right? So they know where to go, whatever. And they also know what they will do. So they can easily figure out, hey, it can't cost this much. It only costs this much. And because we are so ignorant of all these things about ourselves, we are worried always. Oh my God, I have to spend so much for my, if there is some problem here, if my heart problem, though, so much, my lungs problem, so much. So we have always that fear is there in us. Got it? If only we have a little bit of knowledge, and now don't go in the direction, right? How can I learn all this knowledge? Doctors themselves don't know everything. So how can I know all this language, this various knowledge about my body? We don't have to. We have to simply accept one thing. Shariram Vyadi Mandiram. This body is a temple of disease. And it is, if we are taking the holy names, it will be protected by Krishna. And it has to die one day. Shirete iti shariraha. When we have these at least basic things, basic things that everything in our body is also working by Krishna's arrangement. And by karma it works, and when the karma stops, like today morning also we discussed, when the karma stops, cycle stops for this body, the body stops working. So you will not be agitated. Right? They will not unnecessarily somehow or other go to by hook or crook, I will extend my day by 1 day, 2 days. You will not do it. This is how you are getting the knowledge that, okay, this is all coming from Krishna. Material knowledge level, you will have certain things. So you will, why I compared initially with that is because if you are a doctor and you know these knowledge, then you will be fearless to a certain extent. But still they will not want to lose the body, leave the body. But even higher than that is when you have the spiritual knowledge, you will not be afraid of leaving the body. You will know when some problem happens, this is the reason. My karma is the problem. My bhagya is the problem. Correct? So this is why we should do Atato Brahma Jignasa. This lady is not inquiring, so that represents our Prakrita level of dealing in this world. That is 99% of the people have no idea what is happening. Why, where is water coming from, whether it is pure or not. Electricity, where it is coming from. So suddenly government increases the bill. You have no way to stop it. Right? So this is all covered in this one verse, like the psychology. You have to extend Bhagavatam to these things. The dangers in our day-to-day life is a manifestation of this ignorance. You understand? So Bhagavatam is reflecting those things in these verses. And do you get me? We're able to catch this nuances, no? This is what Maharaj always used to tell us, that see, don't simply read the verse just like that. See where it applies to in your day-to-day life. It can represent a psychological situation, so psychological thinking or feeling. It may represent a factual situation. It may represent the working of a certain object or some certain set of people. So all different things are represented in Bhagavatam in different ways. So you have to see there. You get it? Little bit of endeavor is required. That's all. You put little bit and Krishna will reveal this to us. In what I told, are you all in agreement with how we are, many of us are reflecting this? Right? Okay, let's go further. Dishtya gatosi badram te gramyan kaman abhipsase udvahishyami tam steham swabandhubirarindama.
O killer of the enemy, you have somehow or other come here. This is certainly great fortune for me. I wish all auspicious things for you. You have a great desire to satisfy your senses and all my friends, and I shall try our best in all respects to fulfill your desires.
So this is very nice actually. This is Prabhupada gives a beautiful purport here. See this, especially when you see this, when a devotee is advancing in spiritual realization.
When a devotee is advancing towards spiritual realization, his only aim is the service of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. He does not care for any other material or spiritual activity.
So this line Prabhupada is saying there, no? Actually, he is transforming the mood of, the material mood of Puranjana and Puranjani into spiritual side. They both are so much attracted to each other that somehow or other they want to help each other in gratification, that's all. You scratch my back, I scratch your back, somehow or other, but I don't care for anything else in this world. That much they are attracted. So Prabhupada is saying here that when a devotee is advancing in spiritual realization, if he is also focused about his his aim of serving Supreme Personality of Godhead, he does not care for any other material or spiritual activity. He doesn't care what it is. So this is the what do you call? Prabhupada has transposed that mentality of Puranjana and the woman into devotees' mind. Devotees also should be like this, he's telling. Just like these two people are so much attracted to each other that they don't care for anything other than their enjoyment, right? Like that, devotees should be in their Krishna consciousness, in their spiritual act. They should not have any care for anything other than just simply to please the Supreme Lord. Next, see what he's saying in the next lines. Can somebody read?
King Purajan represents the ordinary living entity and the woman represents the ordinary living entity's intelligence. Combined, the living entity enjoys his material senses and the intelligence supplies all paraphernalia for his enjoyment. As soon as he enters the human form, the living entity is entrapped by a family tradition, nationality, customs, etc. These are supplied by the Maya of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Thus, the living entity, under the bodily conception of life, utilizes his intelligence to his best capacity in order to satisfy his senses.
So this is that happens. An ordinary living entity, ordinary intelligence. So they are only attracted for sense gratification. So let's go further. Imam tvam aditishtasva purim navamukhim vibho mayo panitan grihnanaha kamabhogan shatam samaha.
My dear Lord, I have just arranged this city of 9 gates for you so that you can have all kinds of sense gratification. You may live here for 100 years and everything for your sense gratification will be supplied.
So basically, the intelligence, the movement represents intelligence. Then the city of Puranjana is actually a living entity, soul. Now he has not yet got the body. So by intelligence, an ordinary intelligence, it is creating this 9 gates, city of 9 gates for you. So he's saying, I am maintaining these 9 gates for you. So you be inside this body, inside this city of 9 gates, and enjoy as much as you want. See how this explanation is. We should, again, as I was telling, we should not look at it as one girl and one boy meeting each other. It is within the same body, the intelligence, the Atma, the senses, the vital air, they are all acting like this. How the two souls will have their interaction, right? Okay. Next. Kam nu tvad anyam ramaye hyarati gyam akovidam asamparaya vimukham ashwatstana vidam pashum.
How can I expect to unite with others who are neither conversant about sex nor capable of knowing how to enjoy life while living or after death? Such foolish persons are like animals because they do not know the process of sense enjoyment in this life or after death.
Very nice, no? Others are foolish, who are neither conversant about sex nor capable of knowing how to enjoy life while living or after death. We say this is what happens when somebody is enjoying so much, running after sense gratification so much. See, others as fools. Those who don't know how to enjoy the sense enjoyment. Next, dharmo hyatrartha kamaucha prajanandomratam yashaha loka vishoka viraja yanna kevalino viduhu.
The women continued. In this world, a householder's life brings all kinds of happiness in religion, economic development, sense gratification, and the begetting of children, sons, and grandsons. After that, one may desire liberation as well as material reputation. The householder can appreciate the results of sacrifices which enable him to gain promotion to superior planetary systems. All this material happiness is practically unknown to the transcendentalist. They cannot even imagine such happiness.
See, this is all they are thinking. The outside people are looking at us. They are just dancing, jumping around Hare Krishna, or they are going and sitting in some forest or Himalayas and doing tapas. They don't. They can't appreciate the level of happiness that we get. पितृदेवर्षि मर्त्यानां भूतानाम् आत्मनश्चः क्षेम्यं वदन्ति शरणं भवेस्मिन् यद्गृहाश्रमः.
The woman continued, according to authorities, the household life is pleasing not only to oneself, but to all the forefathers, demigods, great sages, saintly persons, and everyone else. A household life is thus beneficial.
Mm. So here again, intelligence, woman is representing intelligence. Right here, woman is representing intelligence. So she is that the intelligence is telling, come on, this is all nonsense. Don't waste your time in getting up in the morning and Mangalarti and all that. Sleep enough as you want. You enjoy sex all day. Doesn't matter. That's how this is. This world is. Okay, we'll stop here and give a break. I think 12:30 to 12:45 is the break now. So we'll stop here at 40th verse. We have stopped, and we'll come back at 12:45, and then we'll continue. And if you have any questions, also we can discuss. Is it interesting or not interesting? This chapter will be even more interesting. Our Puranjana will be showing all his heroic activities as we go along.
Like us by your attractive smile and your aggressive mercy. We think that you are traveling on the surface of the earth just to benefit us only.
Narada Uvacha iti tau dampati tatra samudya samayamitaha tam pravishya purim rajan mumuddate shatam samaha.
The great sage Narada continued, My dear king, those two, the man and the woman, supporting one another through mutual understanding, entered that city and enjoyed life for 100 years.
So this is mutual understanding. Very nicely Prabhupada writing. You scratch my back, I scratch your back is the mutual understanding you're talking about here. That doesn't work always. Because the thing is, see, one thing that she is telling here in the previous verse, we think that you are traveling on the surface of the earth just to benefit us only. This can be seen in two ways. Yeah, spiritualist will tell the same statement in a humble way, that you don't have any other reason other than to help fallen souls like us. This you see, what is that? Vidura tells to Maitreya when he is offering his prayers and all, right? That is a spiritual way of, devotional way of seeing it. But material, sense gratificatory way of seeing this is, your only job is to please us. You got it? You are meant to satisfy all my desires. You are so nice, you are so heroic, you are everything, but we want enjoyment from you. That is the sense enjoyment propensity. Got it? So this same thing can be applied in different ways according to the mood and motive. Now let's go to the next one. Upagiyamano lalitam tatra tatra cha gayakaihi kridan parivrata stribher adinim avishachuchau.
Of King Puranjan and his glorious activities when it was too hot in the sky.
सप्तो परीकृता द्वारः पुरस्तस्यास्तु द्वे अधः पृथक् विषयगत्यर्थं तस्यां यः कश्चनेश्वरः.
A total of 9 doors were constructed and these led to different places. All the gates were used by the city's governor.
You know, the 9 gates, subterranean means the lower ones, all the others are on the top. Panchadwarastu paurastya dakshinaika tatothara paschime dve amushante namani nripavarnaye.
5 left towards the eastern side, 1 left towards the northern side, 1 left towards the southern side, and 2 left towards the western side. I shall try to give the names of these different doors.
So, who can say what are those 5 led towards the eastern side, 1 led towards the northern side, 1 led towards the southern side, and 2 led towards the western side? What is eastern side means?
Yes.
So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is east. And then 1 led towards the southern side. 1 led towards the 2 led towards the western side. What is that? What is a 2 led towards the western side? Rectum and genitals, western side. Okay. Okay. Then the gate on the northern side and southern side represents 2 ears. So one is northern side, 1 is southern side, and 2 to the western side, and 5 on the eastern side. So total 9. Okay, let's go to the next one. Kadyota virmukhi cha prag dwara vekatra nirmite vibrajitam janapadam yatita bhyam dyumaksakah.
The 2 gates named Kadyota and Avirmukhi were situated facing the eastern side, but they were constructed in one place. Through those 2 gates, the king used to go to the city of Vibrajita, accompanied by a friend whose name was Dyuman.
It's very nice, no? These 2 eyes are represented as our Kadyota and Avirmukhi. These 2 eyes. Now, the beauty here is the king used to go to the city of Vibrajita accompanied by a friend whose name was Dyuman. Dyuman is actually sun's another name. The Surya Bhagavan, no? Sun's another name is Dyuman. So this eye cannot see without the help of sun. So that is why he is telling accompanied by a friend whose name is Dyuman. See how meticulously he is giving the connection there. Prabhupada writes nicely here. The king or the living entity uses the 2 gates to see things properly, but he cannot see unless accompanied by a friend whose name is Dyuman. This friend is the sun. Although the 2 eyes are situated in one place, they have no power to see without the sunlight. Right? Within the body, everyone is a king because he uses different gates according to his own will. Although he is very much proud of his power to see or hear, he is nonetheless dependent on the assistance of the nature. For here also, you need the assistance of the Devatas. Right? Dikpalakas they call. Okay. Nalini cha prag dwara vekatra nirmite avadhuta sakhastabhyam vishayam yati saurabham.
Similarly, in the east, there were 2 sets of gates named Nalini and Nalini, and these were also constructed in one place. Through these gates, the king, accompanied by a friend named Avadut, used to go to the city of Saurabha.
So, this is very important. No? The different Avadutas. Avadut, through the city, used to go to the name Saurabha. Saurabha is actually, it's the Gandha, the aroma. So, through the nostrils only you can enjoy aroma. But then, for that, you need the Avadutas help. Just like Dyuman's help you need, similarly, the Avadutas help. Avadutas are what? Who? Air. Through the air only you can smell the aroma. If the air is the carrier of the aroma. So air is the Avaduta because air goes everywhere. So it's called Avaduta. Right. So it carries the aroma, and which is Gandha, that is Saurabha, and the Nalini are these 2 nostrils. How nice, no? This is all when you see. So much meticulously is explaining this whole thing. And through this you will understand the whole functioning of the body also. Because without air, you cannot smell. Without sunlight, you cannot see. Isn't it? Mukhya nama purastadvas.
Udhanam Visayo yati purara rasagya vipanavita.
This is about now the tongue and all.
The fifth gate situated on the eastern side was named Mukhya, or the chief. Through this gate, accompanied by his friends named Rasagna and Vipana, he used to visit two places named Bahudana and Apana.
So, who can tell? You can read the purport yourself. Who can tell all these names? What are their functions? So, what is this fifth gate on the eastern side? Mouth. Okay. What are the two functions of this mukhya? Eating and speaking. Okay. Rasagnya. Our eating, rasa is the taste. One who knows the taste, right? With the tongue only we eat. And in the tongue, if it doesn't know the taste, you cannot eat. You cannot eat healthy foods, right? So that is the rasagnya. The friend is the rasagnya. The tongue. Our eating is done with the friend rasagnya, that is the tongue, and which can taste so many different types of foods. The tongue is also used for speaking, and speak of either material enjoyment or Vedic knowledge, right? So that is done. The mouth that is done with what is that other one? Vipana. Okay, and these two visit the place. He used to visit two places named Bahudana and Apana. What is his? One is for speaking. For tasting, you need the rasa for tasting the food, and for speaking, you need the throat, which needs the fire, air and the fire. It is needed for the speech. So these two with the material elements are also there, which helps in executing certain material activities through our senses. Next. Pitruhu nrupapuryaadvar dakshinena puranjanah rashtam dakshina panchalam yati sutadharanvitah.
The southern gate of the city was known as Pitru, and through that gate, King Puranjan used to visit the city named Dakshina Panchala, accompanied by his friend Srutadhar.
So 1 year here, 1 year here. Usually, Devahu, Pitruhu, they call it. When I don't know exactly, but I have seen that when you are hearing the Vedic mantras or something, you have to hear through the right ears, and some other things you should hear from the left ear. Something like that is there in our Vedic our tradition. So that's why it's called Devahu and Pitruhu. Next. Devahu nama puryadva uttarena puranjanah rashtam uttara panchalam yati shrutadharanvitah.
On the northern side was the gate named Devahu. Through that gate, King Puranjan used to go with his friend Srutadhar to the place known as Uttara Panchal.
Now, this Srutadhar is a very interesting word. Shrutidhar, they call those who hear and retain it completely, they are called Shrutidhars. Even among Brahmanas also, they will just hear one time Vedic chanting, completely they will remember. That is why they are called Shrutidhars. These ears are supposed to be, when it is properly used, with one speaking, one hearing, they will completely assimilate everything. Because it is distracted by so many different things, we are not able to retain everything that we have. That is the power of the Brahmanas in those days. And as recent as 100, 150 years also, they will remember all the Vedic chants. That's why there was no need to put them in writing. The Brahmanas, by default, once they hear from the Guru, they will remember the whole Purusha Suktam, Sudram, Chamakam, everything they will know. You don't have to teach them again and again. So there is no need for keep putting it in writing. Okay. Next. Okay, I think we read the Devahu. What did you read the verse? This thing? This translation?
The purport, bro. Class.
No, translation.
On the northern side was the gate named Devahu. Through that gate, King Puranjan used to go with his friend Srutadhar to the place known as Uttarapancha.
So there is much more thing Prabhupada has given. I will leave it to you for your personal reading also, some of them. Asuri nama paschadva stayayati puranjanah grama kaunama vishayam durmadena samanvitah.
On the western side was a gate named Asuri. Through that gate, King Puranjan used to go to the city of Gramaka, accompanied by his friend Durmada.
Prabhupada gives very nice meaning here. It's basically is talking about the two gates, which is the genitals. So he is going to the city named Gramaka and accompanied by Durmada. Now Prabhupada is giving something about Durmada here. Sinfulness and madness, Dushta and Mada. So basically they are, apart from their necessary use like passing thing and all that, they are also used for sexual indulgence, which is why this Durmada, they take help of this Durmada. Niritirnama paschadva stayayati puranjanah vaishasam nama vishayam lubdakena samanvitah.
Another gate on the western side was known as Nirti. Puranjan used to go through this gate to the place known as Vaisasa, accompanied by his friend Lubdaka.
It's very nice. Lubdaka is actually means greed. Durmada is bad madness, no? Like that, Lubdaka means greed. So the more greedy you are and the more you eat, the more our passing will be very painful. Our passing the stool and everything will be very painful. That's why he is giving. You don't eat too much out of greed. Your normal nature skull also will become too painful. Especially as you are growing older, no? They lose their capacity also. Andha vamisham pauranam nirvakpeshaskritaubhau akshan vatam adipates abhyam yati karoti cha.
Of the many inhabitants of this city, there are two persons named Nirvak and Pesaskrit. Although King Puranjan was the ruler of citizens who possessed eyes, he unfortunately used to associate with these blind men. Accompanied by them, he used to go here and there and perform various activities.
This blind man means actually hands and legs. They don't have anywhere to see. You just ask it to do, it will do. So unless and until they coordinate with what you are seeing with Jnanendriyas, these Karmendriyas will mess up with you. Sayarhyartha antapura gato vishuchina samanvitaha moham prasadam harsham va yati jayatma jodbhavam.
Sometimes he used to go to his private home with one of his chief servant, the mind, who was named Visuchina. At the time, illusion, satisfaction, and happiness used to be produced from his wife and children.
Who is going to this private home? Who is going to this private home? Puranjana. And Vishuchina is the mind. There, right? Chief servant, that is the mind. And this, what is this? It said, Prabhupada says, Hridyayam Atma Pratishtitaha. The self is situated within the heart. In the material condition, however, the spirit soul is covered by the material qualities, namely goodness, passion, and darkness. And within the heart, these three qualities react. For when one is in goodness, he feels happiness. When one is in passion, he feels satisfaction through material enjoyment. And one is in darkness, he feels bewilderment. All these activities are of the mind and they function on the platform of thinking, feeling, and willing. So this is very nicely explained by Prabhupada here. Okay, Prabhupada is explaining the general concept of Krishna consciousness here. How we are like we are forced to accept. He does not know, this living entity does not know that after death he will be thrown into the hands of a very strong material nature that will force him to accept a certain type of body according to his present work. This body may not even be a human body. Thus, the living entity's feeling of security in this life, in the midst of society, wife, and friendship, is nothing but illusion. So, whatever illusions are, at that time, illusion, satisfaction, and happiness used to be produced from his wife and children, he's saying. So, he goes to his own concocted life. He goes to all these different things. When the senses are not working, he goes to this Vishuchina. He's even more deeper, he goes into thinking, feeling, willing. Through thus, he is enjoying. See, through senses, we are enjoying all the rasa, gandha, all those things, through that gross level. But thinking, feeling, willing, also you enjoy something. Now, you think about something which occurred, which some pleasing incident happened in the past. You'll feel happy, isn't it? You feel about something, somebody's appreciating you, you feel happy. So this Vishuchina is giving that illusion through that association with the mental speculations. Okay, next. Evam karmasu samsaktah kamatma vanchito buddha mahishi yadyadiheta tattadevan vavartata.
Being thus entangled in different types of mental concoction and engaged in fruitive activities, King Puranjan came completely under the control of material intelligence and was thus cheated. Indeed, he used to fulfill all the desires of his wife, the queen.
So actually this wife, the queen, is the material intelligence. And he is under the control of the material intelligence. Wherever she is taking him, he will go. Wherever material intelligence, in other words, it includes the mind. Whereas our material intelligence and mind takes us, we will go there. That's what people normally do. Now, this is a very interesting verse. Kvachit pibantyam pibati madiram mada vikvalaha ashnantyam kvachit ashnati jakshatyam saha jakshiti kvachit gayati gayantyam rudatyam rudati kvachit dasantyam hasati jalpantyam anujalpati kvachit dhavati dhavantyam tishtantyam anutishhtati anushete shayanayam अन्वास्ते क्वचिदासति क्वचित् शृणोति शृण्वन्त्यां पश्यन्त्यां अनुपश्यति क्वचित् जिघ्रति जिघ्रन्त्यां स्पृशन्त्यां स्पृशति क्वचित् च शोचतीं जायाम् अनुशोचति दीनवत् अनुहृष्यति हृष्यन्त्यां मुदिताम् अनुमोदते. Nice. This long translation is very nice.
When the queen drank liquor, King Puranjana also engaged in drinking. When the queen dined, he used to dine with her, and when she chewed, King Puranjana used to chew along with her. When the queen sang, he also sang. Similarly, when the queen cried, he also cried. And when the queen laughed, he also laughed. When the queen talked loosely, he also talked loosely. And when the queen walked, the king walked behind her. When the queen would stand still, the king would also stand still. And when the queen would lie down in bed, he would also follow and lie down with her. When the queen sat, he would also sit. And when the queen heard something, he would all follow her to hear the same thing. When the queen saw something, the king would also look at it. And when the queen smelled something, the king would follow her to smell the same thing. When the queen touched something, the king would also touch it. And when the dear queen was lamenting, the poor king also had to follow in her in lamentation. In the same way, when the queen felt enjoyment, he also enjoyed. And when the queen was satisfied, the king also felt satisfaction.
See, this is, if you apply it in a normal life also, this is so demeaning to a person's caliber or qualification. Wherever the lady goes, you'll be dragged to that. So this intelligence is represented by that queen, and wherever the intelligence takes you, mind takes you, You will go the material intelligence. Prabhupada writes in this purport very beautifully. Can somebody read this purport?
The mind is the place where the self is situated, and the mind is conducted by the intelligence. The living entity situated within the heart follows the intelligence. The intelligence is herein depicted as a queen, and the soul, under mental control, follows the material intelligence just as a king follows his wife. The conclusion is that material intelligence is the cause of bondage for the living entity. The point is that one has to take to spiritual intelligence to come out of this entanglement.
So this is the first part. Second part, you see, Prabhupada has given such a beautiful revelation through the example of Ambarish Maharaj. How to take shelter of the spiritual intelligence.
In the life of Maharaj Ambarish, we find that the great Maharaj was first engaged his mind on the lotus feet of Krishna. In this way, his intelligence became purified.
See, this is a very interesting thing. Material intelligence becomes a spiritual intelligence when the mind is engaged in the service of Krishna. Because it's a mind that mind here Prabhupada says no. The living entity situated within the heart follows the intelligence. The intelligence, where is that? Mind is conducted by the intelligence. So when the mind is purified, the intelligence will have to be automatically purified. It will automatically think spiritually. Because it's the mind that is dictating the senses and everything. Right? The intelligence at the end of the day has to it has to follow what the mind wants. So if the intelligence is purified, then it will give the right direction to the mind. And that's why Prabhupada is so nicely telling the mind has to be first engaged. The mind which is dictating terms.
Maharaj Ambarish also used his other senses in the service of the Lord. He engaged his eyes in seeing the deity in the temple nicely decorated with flowers. He engaged his sense of smell by smelling the flowers, and he engaged his legs by walking to the temple. His hands were engaged in cleansing the temple, and his ears were engaged in hearing about Krishna. His tongue was engaged in two ways, in speaking about Krishna and in tasting prasad offered to the deity. Materialistic persons who are under the full control of material intelligence cannot perform all these activities. Thus, consciously or unconsciously, they become entangled by the dictations of the material intelligence. This fact is summarized in the following verses.
Vipralabdo mahishyaivam sarva prakriti vanchitaha nechan anukarotyagnaha klaibyat krida mrugoyatha.
In this way, the king Puranjan was captivated by his nice wife and was thus cheated. Indeed, he became cheated in his whole existence in the material world. Even against the poor foolish king's desire, he remained under the control of his wife, just like a pet animal that dances according to the order of his master.
So this is how we become entangled by the dictations of material intelligence. So this the wife is representing, or the woman is representing the material intelligence. So that's why people are so much mad. You see, when they are so intelligent people, but their intelligence is just for material sense gratification only. Beyond that, they don't know anything. So they cannot think anything higher than that. For them, everything is about eating, sleeping, mating, defending. How much more sophisticated I can make it, that much more I am happy. That's all they have. And for them, as Prabhupada was telling earlier, for them, the transcendentalists are like mad people. They don't know how to enjoy the life. Last paragraph, we can read this. The purport.
How one becomes captivated by the association of one's dear wife is explained in this chapter by Narad Muni. This one or devotional service automatically?
Huh? You can read from there. Where you started, you read from there.
Okay. Attraction for one's wife means attraction for the material qualities.
That's what it means. Attraction for material qualities. Very nice statement it is.
One who is attracted by the material quality of darkness is in the lowest stage of life, whereas one who is attracted by the material quality of goodness is in a better position. Sometimes we see that when a person is on the platform of material goodness, he is attracted more or less by the cultivation of knowledge. This is, of course, a better position, for knowledge gives one preference to accept devotional service.
At least you should come to the mode of goodness. This is what Prabhupada always says, so that you can take to devotional service easily.
Unless one comes to the platform of knowledge, the Brahmabhuta stage, one cannot advance in devotional service. As stated, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, Brahmabhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kankshati samasarveshu bhuteshu madbhakti lavate param. One who is thus transcendently situated at once realizes the Supreme Brahman and becomes fully joyful. He never laments nor desires to have anything. He is equally disposed to every living entity. In that state, he attends pure devotional service unto me. The platform of knowledge is advantageous because it is a means by which one may come to the stage of devotional service. However, if one takes to devotional service directly, knowledge is revealed without separate endeavor. This is confirmed in Srimad Bhagavatam, Vasudeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojita Janayati Asu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayata Hetukam. Devotional service automatically reveals actual knowledge of our material existence. One who is sufficiently intelligent
Very nice statement, no? Can you read that again?
Devotional service automatically reveals actual knowledge of our material existence.
See, with the devotional service, we can understand the categories where we are actually situated. We know what is material existence, what is spiritual existence, what is material intelligence, what is spiritual intelligence. We can easily differentiate, no? Even within ourselves also, many times we say this, right? Within ourselves also, we say that, sorry, Prabhu, I am in too much in material consciousness. We know how to differentiate by the mercy of Prabhupada, by the mercy of our Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam, right? So we can do that. Please continue, Prabhu.
One who is sufficiently intelligent immediately attains the stage of renunciation of so-called society, family, and love, as well as other things. As long as we are attached to society, family, love of the material world, there is no question of knowledge. Nor is there a question of devotional service. By directly taking to devotional service, however, one becomes filled with knowledge and renunciation. In this way, one's life becomes successful. Thus ends the Bhaktivedanta purport of the 4th canto, 25th chapter on the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled The Descriptions of the Characteristics of King Puranja.
Hari Hari Bol. One chapter we are done. So this 26th chapter is a smaller chapter only. Our dear Puranjana goes to forest to hunting, no? So why don't we continue a little bit till half an hour we can complete. I think we can finish if we go a little fast. But the purports are very nice really here, some of them. I mean, pretty much all of them, sorry, but we may not have time to read everything. Let's read the translation and then we can discuss whatever purports we can. King Puranjana goes to the forest to hunt. You have a question, Prabhu? Yes, Prabhu.
About the ear, so the northern ear, that means the right ear was said to be used for karma kandic activities and Vedic ritualistic activities for the elevation to the higher planetary systems. And the southern ear or the left ear was meant for, like it's mentioned, meant for diksha or spiritual elevation.
In the purport.
In the purport. So, like I just wanted to know, like when we had accepted when we had got initiation, so this right ear was near the Guru. So is it a literal thing or what exactly it is? How is it that this?
So that is only from a karma kanda point of view. Whatever is mentioned, it is that rules, Pitra, Deva, those things, normal ritualistic and Vedic tradition point of view. For us, we are all above all that. For us, Hare Krishna mantra, we don't have that. You can hear from both, or you hear with your headphone, anything you want, you can hear. It doesn't matter.
So what was the significance of the left ear or some, like why is that division is meant?
I heard one thing that Ganga flows through the right ear. So that's why when you have the Brahmana thread also, right? you put it around like this, then you're maybe someone else can. I think he has some another question.
That
So
right ear becomes more. I mean,
they just have two different functions. That's all. Left eye and right eye also it is said about that Avirmukha and Kadyota, whatever that was there. So they have their function, whatever. But doesn't mean one is inferior and one is superior. We need to have both. Yes.
Guruji, in other like in fifth,
There should be some technical reasons behind that. I don't know. Maybe I'll try to get from my friends in the in our Vedas and all. Sometimes they have mentioned these things. I know one friend who knows these details about all these different things. But frankly speaking, with both eyes also we are not able to see properly. With both ears also we are not able to hear properly. So let's use whatever we have. What is that shloka, Prabhu? Uses all the senses in the service of the Lord. Sorry? Savai Manakri, not that one. Starting with tongue is to use everything like that. Anyway, I will find it out. Yes, yes, Prabhu.
Guruji, in Bhagavatam, in other sections, in for example, in fifth canto, it is said that Rishabh section that a hunter cannot put faith on the tiger or lion. So there, that is said that at any time that lion can take over and run away. In other words, that lion or tiger is compared to the mind. So the mind can take over the living entity at any point of time. And mind is considered to be in the mode of goodness, and intelligence is considered in the mode of passion. So among mind and intelligence, how actually is the interplay? Because sometimes how is the interplay? Because in Bhagavad Gita we know intelligence is higher than mind, but still mind can take over the intelligence, as we are seeing in here in fifth canto. So which can take over what, means like which is superior for a conditioned soul, for a sadhaka, especially for a sadhaka, conditioned souls, whatever it may be, and for perfected souls there is no question. So which is higher? Because one point is that mind has to be engaged in devotional service, and second thing, intelligence also has to be spiritual. So here we see that Puranjana is driven by material intelligence, but for practicing devotees, it is not, it is spiritualizing slowly. It's not completely spiritual. So how we can understand?
Nice question, Prabhu. From the way I have understood, I will share with you from reading Prabhupada's books. See, mind is the active part within our thinking, feeling, willing. All those things happen from this. You have to see mind and intelligence as two sides of the same coin, actually. It's a two function of the same entity. One is that rational thinking, which you see right or wrong, the discriminating thing. That is why intelligence is said to be coming from the passion. But the mind will not do this discrimination. Mind will say, I like it, I will do it, that's all. That's why when you talk about, say, somebody who they love them so much, whether they are good or bad, they don't care. Because the mind has fallen for that. Heart that is fallen for that person. Usually it is very difficult to change the mindset of someone who has accepted somebody as their dear or whatever, isn't it? So there the mind comes into the, because mind is the one that is directly interacting with the senses. But the mind's, the other side is the rationalization. Even if he's my friend, if he does something wrong, I will punish him or I will correct him. That is and this is correct, this is wrong. Those kind of discrimination is there. No, that is done by the intelligence. But the material intelligence, in that also, it will see what is right and what is wrong from him, his point of view, keeping himself in the center. That is where intelligence becomes dangerous. And the second thing is, mind is the one that has the natural serving mode. It said it's natural service mode is there in the mind only. That is why it is always interacting closely, directly with the senses. Because service can be done only mainly through the senses. Through intelligence also you can do, but physical thing you cannot do. You understand? So even if you have to do anything physically, the intelligence has to take the help of senses. And it cannot take the help of senses without the mind in between. It cannot be skip level, cannot be done. You understand? So it is just the two sides of the same part, where mind is one side, talks more from a feeling thinking point of view. Intelligence with proper rationalization and conscience, they say, no, in the witness to the heart. Mind doesn't care for witness and all. Material mind doesn't care for the witness. Krishna is inside, those things and all, it doesn't. The guilt feeling and all comes from the intelligence only. Intelligence forces the mind to feel guilty. Otherwise, mind, so now here between intelligence and mind, ideally speaking, once the intelligence becomes material, then it can control. There is no difference between, once the intelligence becomes material, there's no difference between mind and intelligence. That is why in this entire chapter, it is talking material intelligence. But actually, whatever is said as material intelligence includes the mind, isn't it? See, already one thief is there. Intelligence is supposed to be the police. If the police itself becomes a thief, in other words, he is also bribing, he's get the bribe, then this hand in hand, no. Police and thief. Right? If the police is strict, then thief has to change his behavior. So mind is the thief, intelligence is the police, but material intelligence is thief in the garb of police. Got it? This example helps now. Yes, Prabhu.
Verse 13 in Purport Prabhupada talks about Andha Pangu Nyaya. So could you give some practical tips? How
Prabhupada himself is giving there, no?
From your life, where you applied this principle?
I applied this in many places, Prabhu.
Some examples.
Many examples.
And from your spiritual master, some life case, some study.
Spiritual master also, spiritual master has taught us that, see, he was saying that I am old, I cannot walk. I cannot go around and manage all these things. So what he said, actually he was going around doing world tour, preaching, and all the things he was doing. But while constructing the building, he said that hey, employ this devotee or the engineer, or one wife member was there, who was a construction person by his profession. So he said, you take care of it, I will not bother about it. For me, I will go around and inspire people to take to Krishna consciousness. In that process, if they are giving some Lakshmi, I will give it to you. You do the building part. So that is one example I can give you. Or another example you can do is, say someone, maybe a preacher, right? But he may not be able to do proper this management, advertising for the programs and all those things. They may not be able to do. But someone may be expert in it. He may not be a preacher, but he may be very good administrator, very good manager, whatever. So what you both combination will do? See, I can come and do preaching, but you please make sure you do the proper information, communication and all that. And you bring whoever is interested to the discussion or that saptaha, whatever program it may be. Then the person who is speaking will speak. So this is how the combination works. And like this, every place it is there. Prabhupada gives the example of India and America. It is always, he helped that. So even in ISKCON, Prabhu, it happens many times. No, there are many managers, nice leaders and administrators are there. And there are some very nice preachers are there. Sannyasis are there. You have temple presidents. Temple presidents also can preach, but then they usually engage in the management part of it. So when traveling preachers, when they come, by their expert management of the temple and other things, they help the sannyasis or preachers or the preaching devotees in giving the knowledge to everybody. And the preaching devotee also does the same thing. That by inspiring people to serve more in the temple, he is inspiring the whole congregation by his thing, whatever. Right? Like the tree and the lion. That's also another nice example. You don't know that tree and the lion? See, the lion is there. It is the king of the forest. So when wherever it is sitting, nobody can come there to come and do anything, harm anybody. So, but it after moving around for any this hunting and other thing, it comes and rests under the shade of a tree. Correct. The tree gives it shade. But the moment the lion leaves that place, somebody will come and cut the tree. Tree cannot protect itself. Correct. So lion protects the tree by living under it, and the tree protects the lion by giving it the shade. So this example is given for Brahmana and Kshatriya, how they should help each other. The tree is considered like the Brahmana. It doesn't have any discrimination. Anybody comes, it will give shade. And the lion is the Kshatriya, which can go around any harm. Nobody can come near the tree, but as long as the lion is there. So many examples are there. Nice question, Ro. Anything else? That's why it's called Vrika and Vriksha. Vrika is the tiger or the lion, and Vriksha is the tree. They are very closely connected. Okay, 26th chapter. Let's go as far as we can. Any questions from the online? I don't see any questions from online. Any comments? Okay, so looks like devotees are. Anytime you can always interrupt and ask questions. So let's move to the next chapter. Can you recite? I will just take a little break for my throat.
नारद उवाच स एकदा महेश्वासो रथं पञ्चाश्वमासुकं द्विसं द्विचक्रमेकाक्षं त्रिवेणुं पञ्चबन्धुरम् एकरश्मीकदलनम् एकमीदं द्विकवरं पञ्चप्रहारं सप्त दारुठं पञ्चविक्रमम् तस्करम् आरुह्य स्वर्णमर्म अक्षयोधि एकादशाचनोनाथ पंचप्रस्थम agadvanam. The great says Narada continued, my dear king, once upon a time, King Puranjana took up his great bow and equipped with golden armor and a quiver of unlimited arrows, and accompanied by 11 commanders, he sat on his chariot driven by 5 swift horses and went to the forest named Panchaprastha. He took with him in that chariot 2 explosive arrows. The chariot was situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle. On the chariot were 3 flags, 1 rein, 1 chariot driver, 1 sitting place, 2 poles to which the harness was fixed, 5 weapons and 7 coverings. The chariot moved in different styles and 5 obstacles lay before it. All the decorations of the chariot were made of gold.
This is a very beautiful simile. This is the natural extension, sequential process of once you enjoy, material intelligence enjoys its sense gratification and all that. Naturally, the next is to go and harm the other people, harm the other entities and things. That's what we do because we are not satisfied with just this itself. We want to show that I am so great, I am so valorous and all that. So all these different things which he mentioned, 5 swift horses, going to Panchaprastha, then the chariot is situated on 2 wheels and 1 revolving axle. All these are actually, they represent different items. What I will do is that, see that here is saying the nice examples are, the nice explanation is given by Prabhupada here, right? If you read from these things, it is herein described that King Puranjana. Anybody can read it. Here Prabhupada explains very nicely each of those items.
It explained that King Puranjana once went to the forest, this one, Puji, to kill animals. This means that he, the living entity, came under the influence of the mode of ignorance.
See, this is what I think. Ignorance means harming others. So he comes into the mode of ignorance. and he goes into the forest to kill all the animals. It's not to be taken as he's killing the animals directly, but harming anybody for that matter.
The forest in which King Puranjana engaged in hunting was named Panchaprastha. The word Pancha means five, and this indicates the objects of the five senses.
See, objects of the five senses means what? Senses are there, but object means that which gives you the pleasure. So that Panchaprastha is the forest. I mean, wherever we go to fulfill the desires of the senses through those sense objects is that forest. That is why it is called Panchaprastha.
The body has five working senses, namely the hands, legs, tongue, the rectum, and the genitals. By taking full advantage of these working senses, the body enjoys material life. The chariot is driven by five horses, which represent the five sense organs, namely the eyes, ears, nose, skin, and tongue. The sense organs are very easily attracted by the sense objects. Consequently, the horses are described as moving swiftly. On the chariot, King Puranjan kept two explosive weapons, which may be compared to Ahankar or false ego. The false ego is typified by two attitudes: I am this body, Ahankar, and everything in my bodily relationship belongs to me.
It is such a beautiful simile. Yeah? He's having these weapons, which are Aham Mama, right? And the objects are there in the forest of Panchaprastha. And these horses are the ones which are going to be taking him so fast, right? And the five karmendriya senses are helping with that sense gratification. Now, the sense organs are the five horses. Same like how Bhagavad Gita it is mentioned, right? And the objects are there, so they are moving very fast, very fast. And how he is obtaining those objects? By his shooting arrows. He's shooting the arrows and killing those animals, whatever, which is the sense object, and these senses are enjoying that. In order for the senses to enjoy, he is getting them. Otherwise, they will run away. No, when they run away, you cannot enjoy. Only when you kill, it will be there, and you can go and enjoy. See how nice he has explained this. Please continue further.
The two wheels of the chariot may be compared to the two moving facilities, namely sinful life and religious life. The chariot is decorated with three flags, which represent the three modes of material nature. The five kinds of obstacles or uneven road represent the five kinds of air passing within the body. These are prana, apana, udana, samana, and vyana. The body itself is covered by seven coverings, namely skin, muscle, fat, blood, marrow, blood, and bone and semen.
Charma, mamsa, rudira, medo, majjasti, datavaha. These are the seven. Tvak, charma, mamsa, rudira, meda, majja, asti. Asti is bone. Asti, datavaha. These are the dhatus. Sapta dhatus.
The living entity is covered by three subtle material elements and five gross material elements. These are actually obstacles placed before the living entity on the path of liberation from material bondage. The word Rasmi, rope, in this verse indicates the mind. The word Nida is also is significant, for Nida indicates the nest where a bird takes rest. In this case, the Nida is the heart where the living entity is situated. The living entity sits in one place only. The cause of his bondage are two, namely lamentation and illusion. In material existence, the living entity simply hankers to get something he can never get. Therefore, he is in illusion. As a result of being in the illusory situation, the living entity is always lamenting. Thus, lamentation and illusion are described herein as Dvikavara, the two posts of Dvikuvara, the two posts of bondage.
Very interesting, no? So many minute level of details. Then what are the other things that he has?
The living entity carries out various desires through five different processes, which indicates the working of the five working senses. The golden ornaments and dress indicate
what are the five different processes?
Just the five different processes. Eating, that will be hearing, smelling, and tasting.
Hmm.
That will be the 5 different process.
Working senses, karmendriya,
Okay, okay,
not jnanendriya, karmendriya.
okay. The golden ornaments in the dress indicate the living entity is influenced by the quality of Rajoguna passion. One who has good deal of money or riches is especially driven by the mode of passion. Being influenced by the mode of passion, one desires so many things for enjoyment in this material world. The 11 commanders represent the 10 senses in the mind. The mind is always making plan with the 10 commanders to enjoy the material world. The forest in Panchaprastha, where the king went to hunt, is the forest of the 5 sense objects: form, taste, sound, smell, touch. Thus, in these 3 verses, Narad Muni describes the position of the material body and the engagement of the living entity within it.
Very interesting, no? So, last chapter, this intelligence was playing its major role. And now in this chapter, he has all the working sense. Everything is nice pictorially described here. Okay, we'll continue the next verse. Any questions, comments? We'll carry on. Cha-cha.
In that city of 9 gates, that was compared to the body, complete body. Now in this chapter, this whole chariot is compared to the, like, many things. Sometimes it appears that it is compared to the part of the body, sometimes with the modes of material nature. So this
Many things means which is
this certain things like these two bows, they are considered to be this what are they? 3 flags are like modes of material nature. So it's like,
it is like this, Prabhu. You have different occupations of sense gratification. No, in there it talks about indulgence, like sexual indulgence and those things. Here he is more into mode of ignorance. He wants to achieve something in this world. He wants to go out and get whatever he grabs, like name, fame. A person is not only after only one enjoyment. He has different enjoyments, right? So there, like, suppose you are going to office, you will take different things with you. If you are going to book distribution, you will go different things with you, right? That's why the scene has changed a little bit, because here he is going to leave the material intelligence, which is considers the queen. She's going to leave. He's going to leave her and go independently and enjoy, or in the mode of ignorance. Got it? That is where he is going into the forest hunting. Like, people go out for, like, say they want to become famous, name, fame, whatever. For that, they go and do all these different activities. No, so you consider that way. So the senses, or the senses thing is changed here. No, scene has changed. Got it, Prabhu? चचार मृगयाम तत्र तृप्त कार्मुकः विहाय जायाम अतदर्हाम मृगव्यसन लालसः.
It was almost impossible for King Puranjan to give up the company of his queen even for a moment. Nonetheless, on that day, being very much inspired by the desire to hunt, he took up his bow and arrow with great pride and went to the forest, not caring for his wife.
So this is the thing. Earlier he was with the queen, that is mental intelligence, but sometimes people want to have sense gratification without the material intelligence. So he is doing this now. You go, you don't care for intelligence at all. You just somehow or other want to enjoy it. There's a complete mode of ignorance. Even with the material intelligence also, you can be in the mode of goodness. Correct. But he is left with the material intelligence. So now he is only ignorance, killing others, harming others. By somehow or other, even by harming others, I want to be happy. That is the exploitation mode, completely gross sinful activities. That's what he is doing. Because when harmless living entity, when you are harming them, that is gross sense gratification. Na? At least you should have some discrimination, that those who are harmful, we can, or those who will create threat in your life. Rabbit and porcupine and all, what is going to do? This tree, the animals in the forest, and he is unnecessarily going and killing them, right? See, Prabhupada writes here very nicely. Wherever a king goes, he is supposed to be accompanied by his queen. But when the king or conditioned soul becomes greatly overpowered by the desire for sense gratification, he does not care for religious principles. Instead, with great pride, he accepts the bow and arrow of attachment and hatred. See, this is very interesting thing. Bow and arrow are considered as attachment and hatred. Our consciousness is always working in two ways, the right way and the wrong way. When one becomes too proud of his position, influenced by the mode of passion, he gives up the right path and accepts the wrong one. Kshatriya kings are sometimes advised for forest and hunt ferocious animals just to learn how to kill. But such forays are never meant for sense gratification. See, this is what he's doing now. He's killing the animals for his own sense gratification. Killing animals to eat their flesh is forbidden for human beings. Prabhupada is writing this. So even when you want to enjoy sense gratification, without harming others, you do it is okay. But if you only way you can enjoy is by killing others, or many times we say, no, there is a lot of competition between. This is what Grihamedis do. They have a very big position in the family, in the society, but still they will not be happy because there's someone else who is also equally powerful or coming up. So what they will do, I don't want any competition. I should be the number one. So what they do, they out of ignorance, they go and kill them or destroy their business, destroy their name and fame. Why do they do? Because they don't want any competition in their life. So out of mode of passion, even that other person is not doing anything to you, even though they are not disturbing you, you go and finish their competition. That's what most of the this materialistic companies they do now. All these big companies, what they do, somebody is growing up, startup, and 1, 2 years, 3 years, they will just grow 100%, 200% like that. The growth, initially you can always grow that much. But what this Google, Facebook, Microsoft, all this they were like the python sitting, waiting for the what you prey to come to their mouth. Silently it will sit. When they grow to a certain extent, they will just swallow it. Now we merge your company into ours. I will give you this much money. Take and go. It's mine now. So that's how they do, right? They don't want others to grow because competition. They don't want others to come and become a competitor for them. That is out of gross ignorance. Why can't others also grow? Let others also earn money and develop, grow in their business. And they don't do. So this is where you keep the material intelligence, the mode of goodness also aside and work on the lower modes. Any question?
This is where Prabhupada is comparing this hunting even to the woman hunting, where he has his duly married queen, which he keeps aside, and now he goes for hunting for many other women outside. So now comparing this with like a queen is compared to material intelligence, and material intelligence is left aside. Now when he's hunting for the woman, so do the woman like what? They refer to what, bro?
What do they represent?
Hunting for different women.
They see, basically they also represent different sense gratification. Nurturing your desires, no. Different desires are there. So for that your sense gratification. So they represent different types of sense gratification for you. This is a nice point, no, that religiously married wife represents the religious principle. Even whatever you are doing it with some righteousness. Correct? But when you leave that and go for doing woman hunting everywhere else, then you've lost all dharmic principles. So you may just use the other woman for sense gratification only. Desire for sense gratification, fulfilling the desires for sense gratification. Let's move on. Is that okay? I think I may be speculating here, But I see that hunting different women, other women, can be in bringing many other intelligence under your control. Like you will have your intelligence, but you will make some other people work for you, no? Their intelligence also you are putting in your service, right? You will make them your slave, correct? So that is how you fulfill your desires. So that can be considered as human hunting. Like with my intelligence, I can only do a certain level of sense gratification, correct? Now I want others to work for me. Like you start a company, you will, with your intelligence, you will start the company, but then you will need many more workforces. But then you want all of them to work under you. So they will be completely dedicated to fulfilling your desires. Correct? So that is one example I can give of. Or from a nation's point of view, where one nation can make many other nations as slaves, like British rule, right? Or all these other Western rule. America is ruling in a certain way. China is ruling. So they give loan to these smaller countries like Sri Lanka, Thailand, and make them completely slaves of them. Like that, it can be expanded anywhere. Let's go next. Asuri mrittim ashritya ghoratma niranugraha nyahanan nishitair banair vaneshu vanagocharan.
At that time, King Puranjan was very much influenced by demonic propensities. Because of this, his heart became very hard and merciless, and with sharp arrows, he killed many innocent animals in the forest, taking no consideration.
So from here on, Prabhupada will keep highlighting on the importance of avoiding meat eating, and because it represents that he will be killing, he'll be torturing so many animals beyond what it is needed. That is what Nardamuni started off with originally, isn't it? If you are doing this yajna for yajna perfect purpose, you can do one or two horses or cow, whatever you put it there, and you elevate them. But the way he is doing yajnas, he is killing so many animals for his sake. That is what is sense gratification. That's where the whole thing started. And so he is expressing all those things here. Again, he is going on the hunting mission. So these purports will let you, I will let you read it at your leisure, because Prabhupada will explain about Vedic instructions, Vedic injunctions, following the Vedas, following the religious principles, then being compassionate to other living entities. All those things he will cover in the purport. Okay. We did the fifth one, right? Fifth we did. Tirteshu pratidrishteshu raja me dhyan pashun vane yavadartham malam lubdho hanyaditi niyamyate.
If a king is too attracted to eating flesh, he may, according to the directions of the revealed scriptures on sacrificial performances, go to the forest and kill some animals that are recommended for killing. One is not allowed to kill animals unnecessarily or without restrictions. The Vedas regulate animal killing to stop the extravagance of foolish men influenced by the moods of passion and ignorance.
Yayevam karma niyatam vidwan kurvi tamanavah karmana tena rajendra jnanena nasalipyate. This verse is very nice verse.
Narad Muni continued to speak to King Prachina Parishad. My dear king, any person who works according to the directions of Vedic scriptures does not become involved in fruity activities.
So this is very important. According to the direction of the Vedic scriptures. Now, Prachina Parishad also can say I acted according to the Vedic scriptures only. But what we also Vedic scriptures say is that don't excessively do it for sense gratification. Do it only as per need. So there what do you call? He was misled, and he didn't follow the instruction. He skipped the rules. Anyatha karma kurvano narudho nibhadyate guna pravaha patito nashta prajno vrajatyadaha.
Otherwise, a person who acts whimsically falls down due to false prestige. Thus, he becomes involved in the laws of nature, which are composed of the three qualities goodness, passion, and ignorance. In this way, a living entity becomes devoid of his real intelligence and becomes perpetually lost in the cycle of birth and death. Thus, he goes up and down from a microbe in stool to a high position in the Brahmalok planet.
तत्र निर्भिन्न गात्राणां चित्रवाजशिलीमुखैः विप्लवो भूद्दुःखितानां दुस्सह करुणात्मनाम्.
When King Puranjan was hunting in this way, many animals within the forest lost their lives with great pain, being pierced by the sharp arrowheads. Upon seeing these devastating, ghastly activities performed by the king, all the people who were merciful by nature became very unhappy. Such merciful persons could not tolerate seeing all this killing.
With this verse, we'll stop. Shashan, Varahan, Mahishan, Gavayan, Ruru, Shalyakan, Medyan, Anyamscha Vividan, Vinignan, Shrama Madhyagat.
In this way, King Purujan killed many animals, including rabbits, boars, buffalo, bison, black deer, porcupines, and other game animals. After killing and killing, the king became very tired.
Confused. What is that? The conclusion is that killer should retire from killing business and take to this Krishna conscious movement. Prabhupada's purport is very nice here. Killing means running after trying to sense gratification, every single sense gratification. Can somebody read this?
Where to read?
You can say people should take advantage. That's the end.
People should take advantage of this Krishna consciousness movement and leave their troublesome life of killing. It is said that the killers of animals should neither live nor die. If they live only to kill animals and enjoy women, life is not very prosperous. And as soon as killer dies, he enters the cycle of birth.
What is that? Ma Jiva Mamara. Prabhupada tells that 4 different things. Na? Jiva Mamarava, Ma Jiva Mamara. That is what he's saying here. Prabhupada somehow likes that very much. Many times he quotes that. Please continue, Prabhupada.
That also is not desirable. The conclusion is that killers should retire from the killing business and take to this Krishna consciousness movement to make life perfect. A confused, frustrated man cannot get relief by committing suicide because suicide will simply lead him to take birth in the lower species of life or remain a ghost, unable to attain a gross material body. Therefore, the perfect course is to retire altogether from sinful activities and take up to Krishna consciousness. In this way, one can become completely perfect and go back home, back to Godhead.
So basically, that killing is nothing but sinful activities, engaging in sinful activities for sense gratification. That is the primary thing where here is going on hunting spree. We'll stop here. Srimad Bhagavatam ki. So from 11th verse tomorrow we will start, because at this point after this you will go to see the queen. So